I've been tossed overboard.
I'll have to bill you extra for my time.
Welcome to the show. You look incredible, like a dessert that owns a yacht.
That's exactly the vibe I was going for. You know, sweet but slightly out of your tax bracket.
Mission accomplished. How does one even shop for a suit when your head is...
Gold on my neck, gold on my hand, purple with the stripes, that's the walk of a man. Sidewalk shining, city lights humming, every step I take, they know a boss is coming. Blazing the whip, gotta vanquish the needs. My kingdom for some poppy seeds.
Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yeah!
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem. Under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY, I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. Told him to call me.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
Yeah, it's T.U.G., that umbrella guy. You picked the wrong storm. 2 times on the docket. Used to lane learn. You kept running to the court. I just let it burn. You was barking on the phone. All that tough talk threatened. Now you looking at the floor like judge. I'm just stressing. You swing wild. I parry that. Turn it to a meme. You gamble with your rep. I'm cashing out on the stream. You said you'd end me. Now you trim me. You a car crash clip. I rewind it in 4K HD. You hate the channel cause the truth don't bend. You ain't a rival. You a cautionary tale I pen. You said you ragged me, but I wrecked you worse. You tried to cancel, now you stuck replaying this verse. 2 times ain't enough for you. Keep suing cause you're scared of truth. That umbrella guy gon' shine right through. You call it war, I call it views. She crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, that's old news. Crazy, crazy, yeah, that's old news. 2 times ain't enough for you. Yeah. You was yelling at the screen, veins popping in your neck, talking big, talking bold, but your story don't connect. You a late night rant, I'm a documented fact. You a tantrum in a tweet, I'm receipts in the stack. You said I'll ruin you, I said bet cool. Now the judge looking sideways, who really the fool? You keep threatening in the dark, I just flipped the switch. You a star of your own breakdown, welcome to the glitch. Mic drop, every time that I quote your lies. You keep spinning, I keep winning, watch the view count rise. You call me villain, but I'm still chilling. You the one scribbling in threads like that's some kind of living. 2 times ain't enough for you. Keep suing cause you scared of truth. That umbrella guy gon' shine right through. You call it war, I call it views. She crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, that's old news. Crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, that's old news. 2 times ain't enough for you. 2 times ain't enough for you. 2 times ain't enough for you. You threatened my name, I turned it to fame. You play with the flame, got torched by the game. You keep coming back, same move, same rage. I just flipped that page, let the ad money rage. 2 times ain't enough.
What's up, folks? Welcome to not yet the middle of the week with a lot of crazy stupid. I swear.
Crazy stupid. We like to hear that. That's what we like. Crazy stupid.
Indeed. Man, by the way, I started looking up pictures of the Nashville storms, just to get like a feel for everything that's happened. Holy crap, man.
Is it bad?
Oh, Lord. So there's a picture. There was a big story about, give me 1 second. I'm going to show you this one. This is wild.
We got like 20 inches and we're back to normal already.
Oh, man.
In fact, the snow pile in the Wegmans parking lot is like a mountain. It's a literal mountain. They bring in the tractors with the buckets, and then just to move the snow and like build a huge mountain. It's funny. Our infrastructure, obviously, it's so bad that so there was the giant interstate signs when you're driving in and stuff. Check this out. I'm gonna show you. This is so nuts. They were very lucky this was not a car. So this is you see this wonderful interstate sign? Oh,
it broke and it went through a tractor trailer.
Oh my God.
Yeah, now luckily it was the back of the tractor trailer, but it fell over and it cut this tractor trailer in half.
Thank God it didn't fall on the cab or on a car.
Yeah, that's what I thought, man.
That's excellent timing. My goodness.
Yeah, the pictures.
Was anybody hurt?
Check it that. There were injuries, but it didn't kill anybody.
Nobody got killed. Thank God. That's horrible.
Yeah. It's like
scary.
Man, it broke that thing in half. Look at it. Snapped right off. Cut it.
Maybe those things should have supports on both sides.
You would think that would be a good idea, right?
Yeah, you would think.
Oh Lord, they were like, no, let's make it thin. It's really bad. That's an area. Anytime I drive toward Nashville, that's an area I have to cut through where I'm going. So I was like, yeah, I know exactly where that is. That's awful.
Yikes.
Typically there's wrecks there, but usually it's not from interstate.
No, not because the sign fell.
Look at that.
Wow.
They cut it in half. I mean, right down to when it bounced. They were talking about it too. When it bounced down, you can see where it smashed it all the way to the tires and then popped back up.
I wonder what the driver felt when that hit. Like, did the truck immediately come to a stop, I wonder, or did he drag the sign a little bit?
Oh, I don't know. I wonder what his cargo was exactly.
Who said that sign has been taking Tug and Megan's karate class? Asshole dojo.
That is a pretty much asshole right there. Chopping the tracks.
Karate chop.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
We're gonna be practicing the Asshole dojo tonight, folks. We're both Tug and I we're in the mood to be mean.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling it tonight. I tell you. I told Megan that. I was like, oh, I'm not. Somebody gets it tonight.
Somebody's gonna get it tonight.
Yeah.
We're both done with the nonsense.
At this too. So this is how Nashville itself. Again, you can look at the amount of snow that's on the road. It's not exceptional. It's more than normal. But look at the chopped down tree. Look at the trees busting in half around Nashville. You got aerial overviews with the with half the trees in some areas just smashed down in the city.
Oh my gosh! I'm still waiting for it to load. My stupid StreamYard. There we go. Oh my God.
Yeah. I told you it didn't take anything here. Yeah, and this is just a bit of ice and
I saw one tree broken in half, but it was an old dead tree. Its days were numbered. But our trees are pretty heavy with snow, and I haven't seen any breakage or anything, but we're used to that. I think our trees are used to it too.
Yeah, they get tough after a while.
They get tough after a while. The evergreens, they have shallow roots, but they're strong, and they're used to having a lot of snow piled on them during the winter here. It's amazing because it was so crazy yesterday. Like the roads were so bad, but by today I had to make another trip into the city for another specialist appointment today, and the roads were completely clear, like it never happened. That's what's amazing about living in a place that gets a lot of snow. Like the snow removal is just top notch.
Here's our snow plows. Look at them. Look, here's one on it.
Nuh-uh. No way.
They've been showing them all over Nashville. Look, I mean, these are all like new ones. Look at all the snow.
So my physical therapist today was telling me that in Pittsburgh, I think, or he thought it was Pittsburgh, that they had 36 salt trucks out of commission, and the mayor or whatever was like, well, it was basically a maintenance issue. They didn't maintain them over the summer.
Oh, no.
And so 36 trucks, so they have no snow removal because they didn't maintain the trucks.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. That's going to cost you an election.
Yeah, I would be very irritated. It was really bad when here with that amount of ice, we had less, than that. That was a heavy portion. That was the Nashville hit. We got skipped a little bit more on it. But you got our police that are like, yeah, unless you got to go out, don't. You should stay in. And I'm like, man, it's bad when here we get a little bit of snow and ice and the police start sounding off on it. They're like, you stay home because you guys can't drive.
You don't know what you're doing. Yeah. There was a really funny I think it's the Louisville cops on Twitter. They have been going off on Twitter, and it is the funniest thing ever that they're talking about watching people on the cams and like laughing at them in Camaros trying to drive on the snow. And they're like, well, we'll be sending a wrecker your way. You're going to need it. Like it's hilarious. One of them said, if you're doing donuts and you wrap yourself around a pole in a parking lot, that's between you and Jesus. We're tired.
That is pretty funny.
It's great. Yeah, LMPD. That's right. LMPD on Twitter. Follow that account, you guys. It'll give you a laugh. You cannot. And then they have videos of the officers sledding and stuff and just acting goofy. It's very funny.
That's hilarious.
I've been enjoying that. Over the last couple days.
Man, I've been getting all kinds of hilarious updates from the last year on Facebook, where we've been following this story for well over a year now. So you get memories, and that account doesn't have any personal stuff. It's all about this case. So I get stuff like, oh look, hey, back when, oh let's look at this memory. Oh look, it's Smack talking to vomit. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh God, vomit.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, vomit. Like going back and look at all the crazy, each day when it rolls up. I'm like, that's very odd. They had, so going through everything, I found something that I thought was very, not just ugly, but I'm going to say unethical and potentially criminal when I was looking at it. So as part of the discussion here, I made a screenshot of this, but you had lips.
Potentially criminal, you say?
Yeah. When I said that, I thought, well, not that guy.
Not that. Not him.
Well, they were talking about what had happened with, wait, is this the... Wait.
That reminds me, when Nick got arrested, he changed his headline to "Actually Criminal."
Actually criminal. That's hilarious. Oh my God. That's hilarious.
That was funny.
Oh man, that's the wrong one. Let me find the other. So they brought up, though, I'll mention it while I'm pulling this up. They talked about their plan and how they had gotten together with Leslie, the Leslie plan, and they started really getting into it Sunday. And when they were discussing it, they noted that part of their plan was to pretend that Leslie was fighting with her man, right? She was basically in trouble, and that he would come in, Jeremy would, and he would rescue her. And I thought, that's pretty messed up, because this is a person that she's accused of some pretty heinous stuff. She accused him of DV. Here's the statement right here. Actually, I'm going to read this, and then I want to pull up something with it, because like I said, this is pretty bad stuff. So they're laughing about how, Jeremy got played by Leslie, which, okay, if you want to go with this narrative, it's pretty dumb. You
I
enjoy
don't
this
believe
narrative.
it. I don't believe it for 1 second.
Oh, no, I like this narrative. Oh, yeah, this is a great court narrative. You keep that one. I like it, you know. They're like, oh, well, look, Leslie played his ass. They played him. They, as in the hubby.
Her lawyer husband? Okay.
Lawyer husband and her, they told him what he wanted to think. Wanted him to think that she's fighting with her husband, that she needs good old Jeremy to come and save her. And he tried. Oh, he tried to save her, and he tried too hard. Okay. Oh, he tried to save her. So this is the group of people. Let's pull up the court record here. Because just to make this clear, again, what a narrative here. This is the person that accused her hubby of DV with children.
Mm.
So you're telling me that and Jeremy knows that, right? He knows that because everybody's seen this and they've heard the allegations there.
Mm-hmm.
So in knowing that, their narrative, their go-to is that they try to use fighting to bait him in because he's a good guy and he will try to save her. Huh. Like I said, that seems, first of all, that seems very unethical for not only your, somebody that you're suing. They reach out, their narrative is they've all come together. They've all decided that they're going to set you up. They're all doing this with, again, their lawyer, plus the two parties that are being sued. They decide, oh, yeah, we're going to do that. And the way that they do it is things like this. And again, using very illicit material. Unethical, yeah. To the point of, again, I'm even like, criminality component is what that sounds like to me. That sounds like very, very worrisome.
Well, God. There's not much that isn't worrisome about that couple.
Yeah, I'm like,
I have it on good authority too that Ricada intends to do a deep dive on Lips and Chips' new show. And it may be members only content, so get your membership now. That's just all I'm saying, because it's going to be pretty hilarious.
Oh my God, that'll be really funny. When I saw this in the transcript when I was running through, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. But there was a lot, like you said, there was a lot in that. It was amazing. Now there's about 2 hours of Guapo being around and talking about getting high. So, I mean, there really is. It's really him coming on. And he's like, oh, I like to sit around and smoke starfish and, the Milky Way. Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's how I marked also, I go through and I mark these. And I mark whole sections. I'm like, Guapo high. Guapo high.
Well, Gabe did that the other night, too, where he just talked about bong rips and different types of marijuana for like half an hour. It was so awful. God, who cares? What are you, in high school? Yeah, I don't remember I don't remember having this much interest in marijuana since I was in high school. Don't these people ever grow out of it?
No, they have. Well, I mean, what else have they got in life?
I guess.
I mean, these are the same people that bragged last night. We challenged Jeremy to a fight. He's for charity, of course, and he accepted, so he's got to fight us. He was cool.
What?
Yeah.
Who's he going to fight? The pothead?
Gabe.
Oh, yeah, that should last real long. That should be, yeah. Yeah, you think a stoner versus a sober guy. Okay, all right. Didn't Gabe also just have surgery or something? Doesn't he have a bum knee or something?
Well, what was funny too is they're through there like, oh, if he ever tries to stick a camera in my face, if he ever does this, I'm like, so you guys are talking all this, but you're like, but we want him to pop up and beat the total crap out of him.
Okay.
I was like,
these people are so insufferable.
That was just really funny. they're very butthurt over certain things too. You know, they're butthurt over things like poppy seeds. They are still every time Jeremy brings that up, they get very butthurt about it. It's funny in the transcript because look, check this out. Look, this was really funny. All right, here we go. So, like, oh, well, Gabe, he started talking about you. Oh, what did he say about me? What did he say about me? Well, he started off with the poppy seeds thing. Poppy seeds, man. Fuck, man. Get over that shit, man.
We can't get over it. It's too. You said it, and it was funny. We're not going to get over it.
He was so upset. They're like, oh, because of the whole everything bagel. That's a possibility of why you failed. He's like, oh God, who cares? Who cares, man? Come on, man. Is it all he's got? And they're like, oh, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. He didn't seem like a very happy pothead at the time.
I thought weed was supposed to take all your anxiety away, Gabe. You seem awfully amped up and anxious.
I love that. There are certain portions of this, by the way, I will skip because they were talking about they dropped off the sod, all innuendo, talking about mushrooms and stuff, and they just started using very explicit terminology to talk about.
No, at one point they started saying the word shaft. I want to puke.
No, they started saying the D, the D. Except with the entire. And I thought, man, they were mad. Apparently, they were saying Jeremy said that Ray wanted his creamsicle.
Oh,
and they were like, because they were wandering.
I highlighted that part. That was so gross.
Yeah. Let's see. Where is that? 9.
I have it right here. Actually, I had it pulled up.
Oh
shoot. I gotta get it. Here we go.
It's right here. I've got it here too. If you want to pull it.
No. I can't put it on the screen. I have it on my lap. I'm looking at it on my iPad. But I mean, I was so grossed out by this. Yeah. By the way they said it. It was just so gross.
I like also that it thinks that they're saying gray. I was like, well, hey, 80-year-old gray. I guess that works.
Oh, you have a different one than I do. So you read yours first, and then I'll read mine.
Oh yeah. So with this one, it was like, so this is when it starts. All right. He's like, oh my God, he was so terrible. He started mocking a song that Leslie and Ray, they did a duet of crying. And so he starts
it was terrible.
It was pretty awful. He did that throughout the whole show, actually. And then he thinks Ray wants his creamsicle. And somebody's like, in a sexual way? He's like, yeah.
Gross.
He thinks Gray wants his creamsicle. And I was like, ew. I'm like, nobody wants your creamsicle or your pickle or your mushroom. Dude, he's talking to a former veteran. By the way, let me just note this. Former veteran, really? Former veteran? How does that work?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a former veteran.
Yeah, how does that happen? Like, how do you make that work? Former veteran.
All right, do you want to hear my gross one?
Sure.
Now, I'm giving you guys the warning. If there are any children in the room, you have 10 seconds to get them out of the room or put your earphones in or turn the volume down because this is not appropriate. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I warned you. You're putting your 2, 1. Okay. Yes, and Papa Ray and John Cook want his nuts in his ass.
Yeah, I saw that.
What?
I was like, yo.
What they're describing, I believe, is the Baldo. What the hell?
Yeah, there were places in this that my notes are just like WTF.
And like if they're trying to make a shot at him, like it's not working. I can't tell what they're saying. It starts out, it's a lie anyway. You are no 9 chins. I mean, oh gosh, I didn't. Papa Ray and John Cook want that gross thing I just said. Last week, everybody wanted his pickle, and I had to remind him, no, they don't. A little bit. A little bit? What? I had to remind them, no, they don't. A little bit. So they do want it a little bit.
A little bit.
It literally says that.
Oh
I'm
my
reading
God.
this verbatim. I had to remind him, no, they don't. A little bit.
A little bit.
What?
Oh my God. What is happening?
What? And then I do want to say this was something that I highlighted and I don't want to miss. It's right after this gross thing about the nuts comment. But and the way they skip around to topics is really it makes your head spin.
What's
So
because
right
they
after
don't no structure that it
Yeah.
shows. It very much shows.
right after saying all that gross stuff about the mushrooms and the nuts and stuff, they go right into they don't want to piss off the judge. And she's talking about the lawyer. She's talking about Lynette's lawyer now, that he's very professional. They don't want to piss off the judge, and they don't take cases personally. Attorneys are typically very professional in court. They don't want to piss off the judge, and they don't take cases personally. Is she admitting that Bruce is a terrible lawyer? Because if you Bruce has been, I cannot tell you, I've never seen a lawyer take so much so personally in a lawsuit ever in my life, except maybe David Gingras. But even David Gingras didn't take it as personally as Bruce has done. So is Lisa admitting that only bad lawyers take things personally? So that's what it sounds like to me.
I think my favorite part in all of this, now again, there's going to be some really damaging, I think, to Lynette and them statements in here, very much so. I think they are wrecking her because, again, they're making statements. Now, they're trying to deflect away, but they're trying to give to the audience. They're doing two things at once, and it's stupid as hell because the deflection, first of all, is stupid as hell, but them trying to, I know this, I know that, I know. It's like, wait a minute. I only found this out though because somebody's telling me it. Who's telling? Well, you don't know who's telling. Well, okay. Well, she tried to go with I was a witness.
Yeah, but that makes it even worse. If you're a witness, you can't know what's happening in court, and you can't know what other witnesses say because you would be breaking the rule of sequestration. Mm. So if you are a witness and you know what's going on in court, guess what? You ain't a witness anymore.
It's even worse than that because we're talking about a protective order hearing. So for somebody to be leaking this, so somebody can go outside and do damage while in the we're not talking about after the fact. We're talking about moment to moment. And again, they deleted this to try to confuse the topic. They raised stuff came back up, but there ain't no chat with that, you notice. And she was deleting her comments from Go. I watched that happen myself. Once people started mentioning it, I went back to see, and they weren't there. She had actually ghosted all of that stuff. So, but what's funny is, while all this stuff is going on, she actually puts out a statement, and she was like, you know what? I typed in my chat, and I told my chat not to listen to people who are not lawyers. I said in my chat.
So does that include her?
Well, who would this mean? She's like, you can't listen to Randy. You can't listen to Jeremy. I was like, well, Randy's a lawyer,
Randy's a lawyer.
Yeah, but you can't, in matters of law, you don't listen to people who aren't lawyers. Okay. So,
well, then stop listening to her immediately.
Lips? What's up?
Yeah, she's not a lawyer either.
Yeah, and some of the stuff, I'm going to say when you've had some 50-page filings about you, maybe even if the person is active, maybe you should look at what they say and be like, I don't know, 50-page decisions against you. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And,
she was in court today, by the way.
Oh, I saw that.
I don't know what happened, but if anybody, I know Susan Davies might have been following that. I'm dying to know what happened. So Susan, if you're out there and please let me know. Send me an email or a carrier pigeon or something.
Pigeon.
I would love to know.
Send me that.
Don't you? I kind of wish we used carrier pigeons. I feel like that would be fun.
Yeah, until I have to clean my floor.
Well, you just let them come
the real
to the
Twitter,
window.
right?
You don't let them come inside the house, Doug.
The real Twitter. You're like, carrier fucking pigeon. What? Oh my God. That'd be so nasty. I'd be like, check this out. I'm going to send some messages right over the fat's house. That'd be hilarious. Oh, my God. But I thought it was really funny. They were telling people you can't listen to folks. You know, it's been a talking point for all of them. And like, again, who is a lawyer anymore over there? Yeah. Oh, well, also, I'm going to reiterate when it comes to law and knowing the law, you should actually talk to experienced legal professionals, someone who's educated in law.
Like that disbarred guy that they keep bringing on the show, the one that spent 4 years in the clink.
Yeah. Or, somebody that had to retire in lieu of discipline.
The retire lawyer?
Yeah.
The retire lawyer? Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Or her husband, who's always at show cause hearings for why he shouldn't be disciplined for doing stupid shit. That one, or the one who does AI filings. Like, which lawyer? I don't know. The lawyers we listen to don't have any of these problems. So, just saying.
They did say that, by the way, Tori would be contacting the police over Jeremy Hales. Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm sure. Why? You know why? You know why? Because he used her full name. That's what she thinks. She can call the police and be like, he used my name on YouTube. Okay, does that mean that I can go after Lips for using my full name on YouTube? Come on, think, people. Use your heads. Use your heads.
Well, these are the same people that their best shots at Jeremy. They're like, oh my God, he wears the same clothes. I bet he smells. I'm like, you guys have a sex golf cart. If anybody wants to talk about stanky, I don't think you should be.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, you know what else? You know what's hilarious? The Fats, they said I guess it was over the weekend or maybe right before, but I have a clip of it. It's so funny. We may have to play it on a Rumble stream. Where they are saying, I am going to get Rekieta in trouble with his probation officer.
That was Saturday?
Yes. They said Rekieta needs to tell her to get bent. She's just dragging him into this. It's going to get him in trouble with his probation officer.
Yeah. Well, you know what that means, though.
I sent that to Nick, though, just to make sure. I was like, well, you might want to tell me to get bent. I don't know. Because
I always tell you to get bent. Whatever.
Yeah, I know. He's like, what else is new? No, he goes, I said, I think Rekieta's terrified about this. And he goes, I haven't been able to poop in 2 days. He's so frightened, Lisa. So frightened of his
what's crazy
probation
with
officer.
That, though, is what they're saying is, we're so butthurt by what's saying that we're calling his probation officer. That's actually what that means. Yeah, right. They're going to call his probation officer, who is going to laugh at them, by the way. He does have the ability to talk even, it doesn't say anything with free speech about nicety. You are not obligated to nicety, people. You need to get, and these people, they don't need to talk like they're Mary fucking Poppins out here anyway. No, it's crazy what they think is real. I mean, these people are delusional. They think that, first of all, I believe that Nick's probation officer is well aware of what he does for a living. Mm-hmm. He's allowed to do what he does. He's allowed to be a commentator. He's allowed to talk on the internet. He's been doing that for years. There is no way that just talking about a story or these idiots is going to get him in trouble with probation. But they say these things, and it is so funny. It's hilarious. Good try, though, Fats. Nice try. I noticed anytime Leslie in background comes up, it goes like, let's see, right in here. They're like, they call Leslie a failure. George did. Failure as a teacher, failure as a lawyer. Oh, well, look, guys, we all know Leslie's whole story. She's explained it several times. Like, huh? Are you sure they know that? Are you sure they've seen the legal records of how that goes? Of course, it was all conspiracy. Remember, it's always right. It was all the Supreme Court of Florida was out to get her. Yeah, just like, oh God, just like paint chips. Paint chips. Like, oh yeah, it was conspiracy. It was political because they were on to the corruption. Just like Bruce, this corrupt judge in Connecticut. It's like, no, you just needed to take your CLEs and you're too lazy to do it. It's really not that complicated. Calm down. They spend a lot of time though talking.
But they're like, the reptilians are after us. Sorry.
There was a really nasty little comment in here though, that as well. They were like, this little problem to tell you, okay. You know, God forbid, but obviously, so now this is gonna be George problem. Like, you know, she's too old to have babies, right? That's the reasons. That's why you wanted to die. Look, that's why you wanted to die. That's why you want to steal someone else's kids. It was like, what the fuck?
What?
Man? These are nasty people, man. Nasty people.
Wow.
Yeah,
What?
gross, man. That's gross. You know,
That is gross.
There's some gross commentary.
Here, I got a good one. So they're talking about Travis, and they're calling him, you crackhead, skinny piece of shit. Keep their names out of your mouth, you piece of shit. He is. I mean, what do you even say to that? Like, Travis is the one. That's an all-time new low. Cleaned up that area and placed everything there. How dare you, Travis, clean up an area and put things there? How dare you? How could you do that?
That's actually better than... Did you see Saturdays? Did you see what they said about him?
That is Saturday. Wait, no, this is Sundays.
Sunday. Did you see Saturdays? Oh, God. Here,
no.
let me
but wait, it gets better. It says Travis is the one who did it. Travis is the one who pointed a middle finger at his in-laws. Excuse me? The only middle finger I know of near that thing is the Bigfoot. Who put that there?
Right.
It wasn't Travis.
It's supposed to be Adam. That's supposed to be the memorial, too.
It wasn't Travis.
No, they were violent the other night. So they said, you know, with this, I wouldn't blame the family at all if they just went up to Travis and grabbed him by the head and smashed his face into a tree.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then they get worse. How kind of funny. They talk about him, let me see, biting the curb, you know, which is a very, so then they were talking about him and they were like, with him doing this stuff, he would have, talking about Travis, he would have definitely been biting the curb, curb stomping. You take somebody's teeth, put them on the curb. Oh, we've seen that in like American History X. But yeah, they're encouraging people that live near him to do violence to him.
Yeah, that doesn't seem legal.
That's very not legal. Holy crap, man. I mean, they've
Why
just been.
Why are they doing this? When you start making these types of statements, you are escalating a situation. You're calling for violence, is what you're doing. Why would you do such a thing?
Because they feel like there is no ramification for anything.
Right, because Levy County Sheriff isn't going to do anything about it. Yeah. That's why. And they know that, and they feel empowered by it. See, this is what happens when the sheriff's officers don't do their job. And this is what happens when Dan Owen, the corrupt prosecutor of Levy County, doesn't do his job and gets his underwear in a bunch over a YouTuber coming into their territory criticizing them. That's what happens. They're treating him in a completely unlawful way, and it's emboldening violent, crazy people.
Yeah, they were talking about apparently charity boxing. That's what they said it was for. They were like, don't forget the challenge that you accepted, Germ. See, we knew you wouldn't do it. You're chicken shit. Gabe challenged you to charity boxing match, and you accepted. Now you want to play stupid games? You better get yourself into boxing and get practice. Or you're going to go to the gym because you're a little flabby. By the way, I was thought. Have you seen Jeremy's size compared to these people?
He's pretty big.
Yeah, he's
the thing about boxing is it's a lot about weight, and I think he could pick Gabe up with one arm. Gabe's very skinny.
I mean, they're asking him to. Oh my God! It's just, I'm like, for real? You want to make all these statements, and then that they also called him a chick. And a chick coward. I was like, like a woman? You called him a woman coward? What? I was like, well, that's respecting them women, isn't it?
Yeah, they really respect women over there. You got to give them that. They're not misogynist at all. Wow.
They start.
What a bunch of weirdos.
The problem with going through any of their stuff too is the fact that, again, there's no structure whatsoever.
No, and it's like a stream of consciousness from a psychotic person. It is so hard to read and understand because it bounces from one topic to the next with no coherence at all.
Here's where they start having problems, though, with court. Okay, so they talk about court and they talk about statements. So they were like, he seems to think, and trust me, he actually said this in court. So they're going to say, they said,
how do they know he said it in court?
Well, indeed, they were talking about him being on the stand. So, but they were like, no, it's his life. He actually said this in court. That it's his life. No, a-hole. It's not just your life. You can't just talk about you and only you. You're suing people. Well, this is a protective
He's suing people who have bothered him in his life.
Well, it's also a protective order hearing. So that's part of the discussion there. Then they, of course, I like it right after all of that. They like playing the internet tough person. They're, again, you remember the knock on the door? Which he was talking about process servers, right? I wish he'd come knock on my door, right? Well, he threatened to come, right? I wish he'd come knock on my door. I'm begging you to.
Be waiting for you. Sorry.
I just like, man, Three's Company.
I can't help it. You triggered something.
What's funny is they would never get up and answer the door. They would never do anything.
Was she going to hop on her mobility scooter to get there? She's like, just a minute.
Marla, come save us.
It takes 15 minutes to get to the door.
She's like, well, okay. They were talking about they talk. Okay, so when they're talking about the other day, they're talking about what happened in the chat and discussions. This is so funny. Okay, again, they throw either Lynette and John under, or potentially the lawyer. Again, they mentioned the lawyer in the courtroom. So they again, we'll have to chop it up in pieces because again, there's this stupid flow through here. And my God, for 2 hours, the last 2 hours, this is a 4-hour stream. The last 2 hours are just worthless, But
yeah.
It's all, again, somebody sitting around talking about being hung. But I can't imagine, like, I sit down, I put this on Speechify. I found I can turn it almost up to 3 speed. So that becomes around 50 minutes. Now I've got to stop and mark things on my on my copy here. But I only have to put up with what they say for 50 minutes or less. And, really it was like, now it's somebody talking like this or really fast, like, but I buckle down for those, 20 minutes that matter and not listen to a 4-hour shit story.
Well, you know what else I noticed as I'm reading the transcript? My God, does she repeat everything she says 20 times or so? Just repeat. It's crazy.
Well, and it repeats back to the other live stream and the live stream before that. So it's really about 10 minutes of new something in a 4-hour shell of the same shit that's been going on for a year.
Well, it's why it's funny that when Jay does the flea cap, how every time Robbie comes up, he talks about how he used to live with Cece. You used to live with Cece? Yeah, I used to live with Cece. We had a 20,000 square foot house. A 20,000 square foot house? Do they even make them that big anymore? Like, and every single time, every single flea cap that Robbie's on. And it's true because they repeat the same stories and that is a side effect of being high all the time, is that you forget what it is you've said. And so you say the same thing over and over again.
It's just so dumb, man. So here they are. They're talking about what happened on Friday, and how it doesn't really matter because typing in the chat is not reporting. Typing in the chat is just commenting. It's like, what,
come on.
Yeah. How does that matter? First of all, it doesn't matter what label you put on it. But
did you get your timeline done by any chance? Because that's going to be really fun to show people the time.
I'm working on yeah. So what I wanted to know, this is the thing I've been trying to find out, is breaks. So they talk about, one of the things they bring up in here is, well, I found out certain things at break. So what they're doing, again, they're throwing either John Cook, they're throwing Lynette Preston, or they're throwing the lawyer under the bus, because they're saying at the break is when I found out about it.
Yeah, but that's a lie. That's a lie. Because at 9 a.m. or whatever, the timestamps are there. And she was saying Jeremy is on the stand right now.
Yep. And he's whining. He's doing this. Yes. And you were
and Shara is on the stand right now. Not Shara did take the stand. Shara did do and even so, the judge said specifically that was not allowed.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do for timestamps, I'm trying to track down the time zone that the person that took the screenshot was in. You know, so that's been the one delay for everything. You know, so I'm making sure of everything with that, making sure that they're in the time zone I think they are. You know, again, eliminating any argument whatsoever. But they tell, well, first of all, he said the judge has screenshots. I don't believe the judge has screenshots. However, I was in a chat. I was not reporting. I was just in a chat talking. And the reason I was talking about the case that morning is because Jeremy Hales was supposed to be in courtroom at 9 a.m. and posted something at 9 a.m. We know that it was, you know, set up to be posted in that time frame, but 9 a.m. Now, again, if something posts at 9 a.m., that would be, there are all types of features on every platform that allow me to take something and prepare it days before if I want to.
Right,
you know?
and set it to go at that time.
Yeah, I used to do that with Twitter, especially all the time. I mean, I would always time videos for the next day to drop it at noon or noon 15. That's really where I went. Right. But I would always, I would drop, a video would go, and then I would drop something on Twitter at 12:16, you know, so it would have 1 minute to establish itself. And then if it got, you know, it would help pick up the algorithm. But I always timed that. I would set it up before that. But they're like, there was a post that he put up with a sign that said guilty on it, and that everybody and everything in the courtroom happening at 9 a.m., whatever, something about the lawyer possibly not showing up. The lawyer didn't do this, right? So I'm in Ray's chat, and somebody said something about the lawyer not showing up. So I turned around and I said, the lawyer did show up. The lawyer's here.
Okay. How does she know?
Yeah, indeed. How does she know that all of that's coming together? Now she's trying to say this is her deflection, and I had already known what's already happening. Now they seem to forget I'm on the witness list. Okay,
not anymore. Not anymore. Not for long, you dumbass.
It's just what's the, I mean, again, being on the witness list, it doesn't matter. You're not supposed to know this stuff.
It actually matters even more. It even matters more because you're not supposed to know what is happening in court as a witness, you dumbass. You notice that George is always telling you she has to wait in the hallway because she is a witness. Well, she can't listen to the testimony of other witnesses.
It's worse than that. So if they have people that are leaking information there, what's keeping them from talking to other witnesses as well?
Yeah, right. Like Beecham and whatever. Yeah. They should probably all be thrown out now because you've got witnesses talking to each other.
Yeah, there's somebody talking to these people, giving them up to date in the moment. But she's bragging here, you know. Well, but you know, they forgot all that. Tonight they did bring it up, by the way. But the other night, these idiots talking, don't they realize I'm on the witness list? Yeah, okay. You know, I'm talking Megan and Tug, those freaks. They have no idea. They forget I'm on the witness. Oh no.
No, we haven't forgotten. That's part of the problem, you dumbass.
It goes on from here too. I mean, this stuff is so.
She doesn't know what sequestration means. I bet she thinks it means bedazzling.
I think bedazzling. This is a horror.
She's like, I got a new sequester.
She has a horrifying thought here. She's like, you know what? I wasn't in Ohio. Nobody said you were in Ohio, by the way, Fatty. You know, I've got a body double. I was like, oh, gross.
Oh, God, that would be difficult. There are not many bodies like hers.
I can't mash Play-Doh up that ugly. I mean, what you talking about?
Body. Can you imagine being her body double? How many Big Macs would you have to eat to get there?
More.
More.
Oh my God! You know what? I'm gonna since I look like this person. Oh my God! There's a picture online of the. Oh, Lord, you know we. Let me catch myself before you start this.
Sounds like you're gearing up for something real bad.
Yeah. So we talk about Gollum and him looking like certain people out there. Well, there's a picture of the Loofamobile. Most of the time, the Loofamobile doesn't have anybody in it. But there's this one specific one where you can see through everything. You can see her like sitting there with that facial look and everything. And I swear it looks like a little Gollum, just like, oh, I got some sex. Ew,
what's the Ew. Oh, and by the way, during the flea cap the other day, Jay was I guess Felisa made comments about being a hoe in the bedroom. She said it multiple times and it made the entire chat gag. Thanks a lot, Jay, for that mental picture. Nobody needed it, nobody wanted it, but we got it anyway. Did everybody hear that? Because it was
I heard something much.
She just kept saying it over and over again. Yeah, I'm a whore in the bedroom. Why would you say such a thing?
Oh, she was talking one time about like, that made me flood like, and she gave somebody a water. Oh God! I was like, oh man, I'm gonna
have to wash my ears out with bleach now.
I was like, I'm gonna set this transcript on fire. But it's on the computer. I don't give a shit. Why are you throwing water? That's holy water.
That's holy water.
Demon be gone, wretched thing.
Please, he wants to hear about your bedroom antics. Please stop. Stop telling people. No one wants to know about that.
So here's where they bring up the bathroom break. So
I feel queasy. I shouldn't have brought that up. Now I feel queasy. Gosh darn it.
Yes. If anybody wants, by the way, thank you everybody for being here. There's over 3,100 of you. That's awesome. Hit the like button if you would. Tell people we're live. And if you'd like to punish Megan, consider hitting her with Yale breadsticks.
Send Tums money. I'm gonna need some Tums money at this point.
After all, this is the birthday of.
Yeah, whose birthday is it today?
Yeah, it's the birthday of GERD. Because I feel like I just had acid reflux problems. If you'd like to say happy birthday to my acid reflux for this, singing a song.
Don't forget to send super chat for GERD's birthday.
Oh my God, it's so terrible. So gross. So here they start talking about then when they were fed information. All right. I was not in Ohio. They did this thing. They had a hearing. They had a bathroom break. Huh. Okay. They had a bathroom break. And before the bathroom break, it doesn't understand Shara. So if you're searching, look up Sarah. That's what I found.
Yes,
Shara
it
was
comes up as Sarah every time.
So they're talking about the order, by the way. Before a break, Shara is being her on the stand, as they would say, or on the stand. Whoa, look at her throwing that legalese out there. Or on the stand, as my peoples would say.
God.
Us in the legal know, baby.
Yeah, right. The almost lawyers in the crowd.
Lisa Lee Esquire.
Supreme Court Justice Lee Esquire.
God. Oh Lord, that's terrible. Okay, and after that, Jeremy went, and I believe after that, now you notice they're trying to play the I believes now. Oh well, I didn't know that, of course. It was Martha. Okay, those were the 3 witnesses that they used. Okay, it'll be Shara, Jeremy, Martha in that order. Okay, I knew what happened. I didn't. Well, it's supposed to be. I think it says I didn't know is what it was right there. What happened until the bathroom break, and that's it.
Oh, baloney.
Yeah,
She
but
did
okay.
too.
Wait. Like they're still. So you're telling me that either again, who could tell you at
Who
that break?
contacted her during the bathroom break to tell her things?
Yeah. So I mean, people have a protective order against them for a reason. Like this is again throwing somebody under the bus, and no matter which one of these people they throw under the bus, again, it doesn't matter with witnesses. Which if you're going to throw a witness in there, that would be a very bad problem. But what all this tells me is that they have been plotting together, and they have been trying to cause problems. They go further than all of that too. They talk about rescheduling, blah blah blah. But they're like, there were several people who were there. There were several people that could tell her about.
Oh yeah, who?
I have talked to and with several people. There were several witnesses that were there.
Oh, you talked to other witnesses? Because that's a problem.
Yes, she notes this straight up. I talked with the witnesses that were there.
Highlight this and send this to Jeremy so he can send it to Eli.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is more... she's not supposed to talk to witnesses. This thing is not over. The judge needs to understand that Lynette, her entire side, are all cheating.
Yeah, they're all communicating with one another and coming up with a narrative. And they've talked about it. So Lynette talked about how she has spent months. These people have spent months talking to people like Beecham instead of going in and enforcing a protective order. They've been sitting around plotting with these people, according to them. Like, that's insane.
Yeah,
I've heard some crazy shit, but I mean, that is absolutely
it's one of the worst things I've ever heard.
Yeah, I've never heard somebody admit, and again, they're brazen about the fact that, I mean, Lynette talked about Beecham like they were pals.
Yep.
Again, I played a clip for you off of that, but there's a lot more, and she was pretty freaking secure in the fact that Beecham, he was always going to take her son.
Uh-huh. That's
just nuts, man. I've never, ever heard somebody say, that, these cops beforehand, they're going to take my side on this. Especially, again, we're talking about Cook pulls a freaking pew-pew on someone, lies to the police multiple times. You're talking about that guy? You're okay with that guy?
Because they're okay with that guy. They really are.
That's insane.
Yes, they are. They are insane. Literal insane people is what we are dealing with, including the Levy County Sheriff's officers. They are out of their minds. They are taking the side of stalkers because they do not like the Yankee YouTuber who moved into town and caused problems for them.
So they link up with all the other Yankees that are... I mean, what's up?
I know. What's Bruce? Other than a carpetbagging Yankee?
What are the facts? I mean, all these people, they're all carpetbagging. I mean, seriously, if you're going to go with one and hate one guy, what's up? They look for an outsider. Again, it's a little more than outsider. It's this guy he dared question their authority, their authority, and they're mad about it.
Yep.
So they also said, look, there's an attorney who is present. So they made the distinction between witnesses and attorney. They're throwing that attorney under the bus. She's talked about communicating with him, by the way. Mm-hmm. She's talked about, and I keep wondering, because she paid for it.
Because is he her lawyer?
Yeah, I mean, whose interest is he serving?
I can't believe, by the way, that Lynette allowed this. Do you realize, Lynette, if you're listening, and I'm sure you are listening because you can't stop listening, do you realize that by letting Lisa have access to what happened in court, you are putting yourself at grave risk of more contempt? Because guess who will be held in contempt for sure? You. Who might be held in contempt for it is Lisa. But for sure, you and John will be held in contempt if the judge finds out you were feeding her information live. And there is going to be a hearing on it. And it's going to be you and John who are the ones who are going to be the subject of the contempt.
Well, what's crazy is they think they can be like, you got to prove that I did. Well, we already can prove you did it because you're talking about
prove it. We've proved it.
You're updating it live. Oh, that doesn't mean anything. That's not reporting. That's commenting. What? What does that even mean? Like, for real, let's be real about it for a minute. That means nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, she's not smart. Brains were not handed out to her in equal amounts when God was handing them out.
I believe they're assured in the fact that they're not going to have problems. It's going to be someone else who has problems, you know?
Yeah.
So they just don't
That's
care.
what they're counting. That's what they're counting on. They're counting it on the contempt only being. Lisa even said, "I'm not under that jurisdiction." Well, you kind of are if you're a witness, you dumbass. You're a witness in the case. You have submitted yourself to the jurisdiction. But she's counting on the fact that she is not under the jurisdiction. Well, who is? Lynette and John.
Yep. It's just wild, man. She's making it very clear. I've talked to witnesses in there. I've talked to somebody or the attorney's leaking me information, you know, but I did not report until court is over because, again, she's playing the report versus comment. I didn't comment on my channel, so I quote unquote didn't report because I put up the Ohio court update. The chat doesn't count. Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, yes, it does. That was a live stream. You were live reporting, whether you want to call it that or not. That's what you were doing. You were telling people in the public what was happening inside a closed courtroom in real time. You are full of crap. And it's going to come out. There will be a hearing. And the judge is going to, I think she's going to drop the hammer on you. For sure, she's going to drop the hammer on Michelle and John. And that's going to be funny. Because yet again, it'll be Fleesa getting them in trouble. These people she claims to be helping.
Well, and what's wild, too, is it showcases, again, there is something majorly wrong. It doesn't matter who comes in and, you know, what undersheriff they recruit or this or that. I've never heard, again, of an undersheriff and a deputy going into a case and trying to shill for the people that are the party that a protective order is against.
Well, I guess they kind of have to because they have made the decision that they aren't going to abide by the judge's order. So they have to defend themselves. But I think it's really stupid that they decided to do that under oath. Because if they think for 1 second that Jeremy Hales is just going to take that laying down and isn't going to sue them, oh my God. And now they're under oath. Whatever they have said on the record, they cannot take back. They will be made to look like total fools because they are fools. What they did here is completely, they're not allowed to arbitrarily decide that a judge's order in Ohio is simply moot. Yeah. They're not allowed to do that, yet they did. And this idiot Lips saying that protective orders can't be enforced across state lines. She's never heard of VAWA. She's never heard of the Violence Against Women Act, which is
full faith and trust. Again,
full faith and credit. It supersedes any local law about this. Federal law supersedes the local law. They must give it full faith and credit, and they are not allowed to reinvestigate it. Period. The Attorney General of Florida has already made what's his name? His name is Butterworth. His not the current one, but the one who, when this passed, already put out a guidance on it that is still valid to this day that says very specifically even Florida state law about foreign orders does not apply.
Here's their statement, by the way, since we brought that up. We'll go
It's
back
a
to
great statement. Yeah.
Yeah, here's her. Well, no, I mean, this is her statement. Her statement is
I thought you were talking about the Attorney General.
No. we read that whole statement. It was
very clear, right?
Yes.
I mean, it was not hard to understand. Let's just put it that way.
No, there was no confusion whatsoever.
Right.
Everybody should be able to. But they're like, I'm going to debunk Megan Fox, when you got an injunction in like another state like Ohio, okay? When you've got an injunction by, forbidding, say, Michelle Preston and John Cook from something. It's not binding in Florida.
Yeah, it is.
It absolutely is.
That would be I thought it was funny when people were like, yeah, that's like getting married in Tennessee and you go to Florida and you can just get married again then because your marriage license is not recognized here across state lines because Florida is a whole other country. What are you even talking about?
Well, you remember Motorized Bandits? You have plenty of movies about them, how they used to back in the 1920s, they would cross state lines.
Oh, yeah. Like Bonnie and Clyde, they're running for the state line.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the U.S. Marshals had to go after them because the state police had to stop at the border.
That's why we had Hoover, and I wanted to put in all the federal rules about that. And it's so absurd to think of every state is its own kingdom. It's essentially we are not a United States.
Right. It's just a loose confederation of little countries. We're not balkanized. What in the hell is she talking about? Federal law applies to every state, period. And VAWA is federal law. That means that full faith and credit must be given to the orders, including domestic violence and civil stalking orders. It is not one or the other. It's not. I mean, I can't even say this. I don't even know why why am I repeating this? Everyone knows this. Everyone except Lips knows this. Well,
unfortunately, they are telling a lot of people that it's very wrong. And if somebody decides that they're going to take this information and they're going to run with it, you realize like how dangerous this.
Oh yes, very dangerous. So please believe me, folks. If you have a protection order against you, you must obey it in every state you're in. Every state. You cannot just go to the next state over and then break the terms of your protection order. If you do, you will end up in jail.
Ohio court cannot sit here and dictate to a party what to do in Florida. There's no jurisdiction. The order would have to be binding in the state. It is. That's why it's, again, full faith and credit. That's how that works. It makes it binding in every state.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just go to another state. You can't be in Ohio and say to a Florida court, oh, you got to do this. No, Florida gets to make their decisions because each state has different laws. Well, this person was a lawyer. This is horrifying to me.
That's why she's no longer a lawyer. Isn't it clear now? Isn't it clear why she had to permanently retire? Because the state of Florida didn't want this bullshit attached to their name anymore.
God, that's nuts, man. I mean, when I see some of this stuff, again, this has the capacity to do real harm. I mean, real harm. You can convince some psycho out there that it's okay. They can, hey, you got this against you. Well, it's just wait until the person goes on vacation,
Yeah, that's like John Cook going over to Jeremy's property and actually going onto his property to take pictures because he thinks he's out of town.
They talked about that in here too. Holy crap. They actually discussed that as well. He's like,
and I love how their argument is, oh, now he's afraid of people taking pictures. He takes pictures of everyone. No, you idiot. His stalkers are not allowed to take pictures on his property. Just his stalkers. Anybody else can drive by on a public road and take a photo. But guess what? His stalkers cannot. Period. Because he has a protection order against them. Why is this so difficult?
Well, and again, look at all these things. They've been reported to Levy County, and Levy County doesn't give a shit.
Mm-mm.
I mean, honestly, what I was afraid would happen is that there would be a confrontation, and then something awful would occur. And, you know, either something awful would occur to Jeremy, or Jeremy would have to do something that would be awful. And then they would want, of course, to interact. They would try to ruin his life over it because he had a protective order against some crazy people. And I mean, that's just, they've put him in a situation that is absolutely insane, you know?
I don't think that this is going to end until they go to jail, and even then it might not end. I mean, I think it's gotten to a point where they are homicidal. All of them.
They've all been talking about doing, I mean, how many of them have talked about doing real harm? We've seen the John Cook statements. We've heard the Lynette one that just came out with Shara with the grandson. You know, that statement about him getting friends together and him.
Oh, then, yeah.
You know, Leslie.
I can't believe I didn't play that on the show. I meant to do that last night, to play that, because I feel like we've not heard that enough times.
We should sit down together and review that. You should set it up. Like,
yeah, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I really want to go over that, because listening to her laugh about her grandson planning to kill Jeremy Hales is really disgusting. And she doesn't back off of it either when Shara says, no, he wouldn't do that. She doesn't back off of it.
No, she doesn't. She says it's just all crazy, man.
Yeah, it's really, and then there were other statements. You know, we heard the other one where she said she wants to see him dead like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we have John Cooks talking about, you know, if the kid weren't here, you know, I would have pewed him and fed him to alligators.
And then we have Lynette saying John's going to hire his jail friends to do some work after putting a GPS on his truck so they can find Hale's headquarters. Yep. How is this not a serious and urgent situation to stop these people before they do something that cannot be undone? And if they want people to stop saying that they're homicidal maniacs, maybe they should stop talking like one.
I mean, it's beyond insane. It is. This has gotten to a level that it's very dangerous. It is. It's very dangerous, because they're also encouraging, you know, the normalization of this stuff too. Again, it goes with, I know I've talked about this before, but what they do is they other people. They make them something that is not human, because most people, you know, they have something in them that says, I shouldn't do a terrible thing to a person. But if they're some monster, if they're the Antichrist, if they're all these, depending on who they're talking to, they make it okay for horrible things to be done. And with the escalation of this, those horrible things, they don't end at what you would think. You know, we're not talking about horrible things like taking pictures. That's not where it ends. It ends a lot worse.
And they're dehumanizing him. They're working on convincing people that he's so heinous that he doesn't deserve to live. And then when some unhinged crazy person, like one of their homeless freak people who listen to them, and there's a few that I've noticed in the chat, some real unhinged crazies, decides to take it into their own hands and do something terrible. You know, I think that's what they're looking for. I think that's what they want.
I'm to the point where I very much think that's their plan. Because I mean, what else? I mean, really, what else?
What else is the end game here? Yeah.
And
also, I found evidence that they are still going to people that Jeremy knows and has worked with, and they're spreading their lies and defamation among his community of people that he has relationships with.
What'd they say about that?
Okay, so if you search the word Jeebus in Sunday's transcript.
Let me write down the time I'm at, because there's a couple of other things that I wanted to know. Give me 1 second.
I can read it to you. It's only one sentence. Okay. Like, they're talking about these other YouTubers named Amber and Jeebus. I don't know who they are, but they're talking about them. And she says, you know, of course, I'm not going to speak for that family. They're talking about the Hudsons, you know, no drama at all. Right. Yeah. Success. I just love them. I'm a huge fan of Amber and Jeebus, and I've talked to them on numerous occasions, and I've talked to them through Mike Pirate, whoever that is. I don't know who that is. So, and they, you know, they've confirmed that there's, you know, there's no interest in doing content with that person. And that person, of course, she's talking about Jeremy Hales.
Wow. That's that's a hell of an admission to state publicly.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Well, I mean, they were contacted, you know, with like Bruce. Bruce is contacting every fucking body he could find. Anybody. He wasn't selective in it. He was contacting anybody that he thought would pick this up and go after Hales.
Yeah, and I mean, she's saying he fell out with Pirate. He swears he didn't fall out with Jeebus, but why doesn't him and Jeebus ever do anything? I know these people. I think he's so jealous of Jeebus, it's not even funny. Yeah, they'll never do them. Never again. The Hudsons told me that. Huh. So it's like she's making it her mission in life to like contact everyone he's ever worked with and spread these lies about him and try to turn people that he has professional relationships with against him. This is just all more evidence in his lawsuit against these people for interfering with his business.
Mm-hmm. It's wild. It's wild, like what they admit to, by the way. I mean, they just... said, but they straight up are like, yes, we're doing this, you know, and you can't do anything about it.
It's crazy.
They realize like either way, again, this stuff is lose-lose for them, because if they lose, oh, it's big time. If they were to ever win though, you know what the message is? Because that goes two ways. So, you know, people would be able to do all of this stuff to them as well. Huh.
Uh-huh.
Huh. Okay. All right. I'll make sure that I understand the lesson fully. You know, you know, and I will return to that after I decide to carry that forward. Like I say, you know, nobody can. You try to take a flamethrower to me, I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't have any. My channel is built on this insanity. You know,
that's true.
I mean,
they haven't done enough research to figure that out yet, though.
Yeah, Jeremy, you know, Jeremy's in these circles. He's just a normal dude. Like they talked about him. They were talking about how in the past he would never talk about X, Y, or Z. And I was like, okay, so you're telling me that he needs to go out and defend himself. Their whole statements were that, you know, he's brought up a topic like this or a topic like that. Oh, because, you know, well, we said this and he feels like he needs to validate it. He needs to defend him. I was like, oh, that's a good statement. You know, that's very good about you saying that you're damaging him. And he feels like he needs to do that. And he would never talk about a topic like that in the past. No, because he's just a dude out here like that's trying to have fun and go through storage units and stuff. You know, like I said, I thrive in the chaos. I love it. But, you know, my business isn't built on going out and talking to people that don't understand, you know, that somebody might try to ruin you. And,
you know, Nick asked a really good question the other day when he was going over some of the stuff. And he said, what is the deal with them wanting to destroy this man? Like, what did he do to these people? Because he sees it. Everybody who looks at it sees it, that this is clearly an attempt to destroy another person. And, you know, Nick's question is, what did he do? What is it that's so terrible about Jeremy Hales? What did he do that makes these people want to destroy him? And the answer is really simple. If you've been watching this long enough, it has nothing to do with anything Jeremy did other than succeed. His success is enough to make crazy, jealous assholes who are envious want to destroy him because he succeeded where they have failed. It's that simple. There is no other. It's not deep. It's not nuanced. You don't have to go back to the hoarder house to figure it out. It's not about that. It's not about that. It is about the actual him succeeding and them being mediocre failures.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest lessons out there, you know. It's about petty jealousy.
Oh, I forgot. We have the text of the email that was sent for the thumbnail.
Yeah. We got that.
Are we going to pull that up? Are we going to pull it up later? Okay, cool.
Actually, let's go ahead and pull it up. Since you mentioned it, it's good, you know.
It's great. I love it.
Let me make sure. I don't know if I sent that over to myself. Do you have it pulled up right away?
I can get it. I can get it. I have
it. Might be easier
I just have to open my email. Hold on. Let's see.
Oh my God! By the way, so I was playing around. You remember? You remember Dave right after they were bringing Only Me back? Remember he did that long note? He was like, "Oh, I'm going to call out Tug because he called Only Me a coward." I decided, back when I was putting all of that to song, so I decided that I would remaster that, and man, it sounds even whinier and better. Like that letter sounds so good. While you're looking for that, I'm gonna play just a little clip of it.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna have to drop it in a blog. Actually, you know what? No, never mind. I've got it on Suno where I've been working on it. Never mind. Let me pull it up that way. Oh my God, I love it though. Because I took all I did was take his note and put it to music, but even it was like, okay, that's very whiny. I love it. I love it that when it remastered it. I've been playing with the remaster. The only problem is some of the songs that if you import them again, it can't understand the lyrics very well. It's really funny what it thinks the lyrics are to the Godzilla song, for example.
Well, you can type in the lyrics now. You can do that to make.
I'm just like, it's gotten like 90% of them wrong. It's
all right.
Crazy.
I've got it pulled up here now. Don't worry. All the email addresses that are on here are public anyway, so I don't think we need to get rid of them. But this is from Alexis Stomall. You don't often get email from Alexa. Oh, this is a message from the from the email server.
Yeah.
So it says, "Good morning. I am the investigator from the Office of Chief Disciplinary Counsel in Connecticut. My office was notified that Bruce Matskin, a third party in this case, the thumbnail case, engaged in the unauthorized practice of law in the state of Florida. Since Mr. Matskin is a licensed attorney in Connecticut, my office was looking into the sanctions that were granted to see if reciprocal discipline was warranted. However, on the Levy County OCRS page, I could only find the order granting the defendant's motion for sanctions pursuant to Section 57105, and the court action notes ordering the sanctions from December 17th. Neither of the documents states what the sanctions are. Is there a formal decision that is not on the court's webpage? Any information that you can provide will be helpful."
That's beautiful.
I love the fact also that it's like, hey, are you going to sanction this guy? What are you doing?
I like the fact that you have somebody that is like, we were going to look and see if we needed to really handle it, but
we're ready to handle it. What did you do?
That's beautiful.
We're ready to go. We're ready to drop the hammer. We need to know what you did first.
I love that. I love that. Between that and the funny little bankruptcy thing, it's kind of fun too, because I learned something valuable in that. I learned that the lawyer here is actually a time traveler. Did you know that?
I heard something about this, but I haven't looked into it, so I don't know what happened.
Yes, it's quite amazing. I know you're like, maybe I'm skeptical about him. No. Apparently he is a time traveler. So here's a certification letter that he sends over. Pull this up here.
He can join Greg Gillespie because in the Laura Owens case, she's always accusing him of hacking her computer. And in a couple instances, she accused him of hacking into her computer years before she met him.
Well, here they're knocking about.
He's a time traveler too.
Well, they do this twice. Typo one time, sure, okay, twice. That's weird. Certificate of serving notice, non-evidentiary hearing. It'd be DE 91. I hereby certify my true and correct copy of notice of non-evidentiary hearing on debtor's motion for damages for creditor misconduct was served simultaneously upon the court, blah, blah, blah. I also certify that on January the 27th, 2025, that's right, 2025.
Last year.
A copy of said documents by first class mail, postage prepaid, or as otherwise indicated upon the parties listed on manual service below. I hereby certify that I'm admitted to the bar, the United States District Court, Northern Florida, dated January the 27th, 2025. Yes, that's right, folks.
Yikes, Saran wrap. Yikes.
He went back and he filed this a year ago. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, the time travel didn't work out because the court didn't recognize it. They actually were like, no, we're going to file this on the 2026 side of things. But, you know, I also noticed another fun factor about this yet again, and the parties that are being notified. I noticed one rather big stinky omission off of that. And nope, I forgot to give me 1 second. I gotta redact. I missed one. You know, you got to redact every one of these freaking. You don't really have to, but because it's a bank address, but still, I redact. You know, I mean, it's an address itself, so I don't want to leave that in there. The way it comes up, his spacing is so just jacked up in certain places too. That I'm like, wait a minute, that's part of the other. No, it's not. You know, my mind doesn't it doesn't register it correctly. What a mess, man. So let me try this yet again. Ah, oh, Lord, these people. Time travelers. So let's see who's on the list together, shall we? This will be the manual note. Somebody, by the way, noted that the manual notice had a notification. Let me just show it to you. So somebody had noted that this says, you know, the following is a list of parties who are not receiving email. Okay, well, a lot of times we don't show because this is not blotted out here oftentimes. So we just skip the Lulyer page. But I think that was a good notation because people were wondering maybe she's included in something else. No, those people are listed on here too. But let's see who's here. Again, Brad Granger, Chase Bank, Finance Company, Cricket, Deanna West, Elephant Shoes, LLC. Here, I gotta skip over to the other page. We're going to have, man, there's a, I need to go in and make sure they're mailing everybody too. I wonder if they're omitting anyone on accident. You know, you have Larry, you have Grow Financial, Jeremy Hales, John, George, Medallion Bank. Oh, they did leave somebody out. Wait a minute. They did leave somebody out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they sure did.
Lisa, would it be Lisa?
No, they left out somebody that's supposed to be on here.
Who?
You know, so yesterday I was trying to figure out who one of those financial institutions were, or the other day, I can't remember. And it was Jeremy Hale's bankruptcy folks. They're on one of the lists. It is right here. It's on a different docket. So check this out. See, I wonder if they're doing this a lot. I wonder if they're like huge omissions through some of this. Like you have Brock and Scott PLLC here, right? I don't see them on the new list.
That's weird.
Yeah, unless they accidentally got cropped off or something. You know, I don't see them on there. So if they are and I missed them, you know, that would be something. You know, if somebody notices that out there. But you know, I could have, I would, you know, I don't think that they got cropped out of the thing, but I don't see them on the list. But the one thing that I am noticing is, yes, there is a rather huge void. You know, when you could park a freaking tractor trailer in. Why? Because, well, they supposed to leave the rooms for the fats, and they didn't. It's very strange. I thought she was a major part of this.
Potential creditors, she said.
Yeah, I mean, she forced her way into this thing, you know, and then they've done nothing.
That was just to get reconnaissance.
Oh yeah,
that's all that was about.
It's about keeping an eye on her, is what, you know, on.
And Preston. it's about harassing Jeremy through being able to, you know, go and tell people all about what's going on in these court cases where she's not supposed to be. Yeah. Again.
Here's that. This was his note. He was like, this is just a quick upload. Look, it's so quick. Look how quick it is. Look.
Whose note is this?
This is Stupid Dave's. He was this was when Only Me. You remember when he came back, you know, and said the whole thing on I've audited and stuff. This was his note. I like how I like how it was translated over here because they decided it was a sad song. Check this out.
This is just a quick little upload because I have been getting multiple emails that apparently Mr. Tugglesworth is unhinged. The man has went off the wall, and the man has went off the wall while mentioning my name and mentioning one of my friends' name. Only me. And the ace 2G that I heard you spew is ridiculous. First of all, you talk about not sticking up for only me. You have no clue. My relationship with only me, you have no clue. You say I didn't stick up for him. Every word that came out of my mouth was in support of that man because of what he has done for me in my life. So you don't know shite, buddy, I'm sure. Only me has no problems with me. You talk about how everybody has betrayed him. The only person who's really betrayed him is a few viewers and some person named Miyagi, which is a scorned viewer. Miyagi made videos about him. Nobody else in this community has made videos about only me. You call only me a coward.
I made this a lot.
Fact of the matter is, bros, you're jealous of only me. You are salty that your whole narrative went to shy with a few strokes of only me's keyboard. The fact of the matter is, Tug, is you sound like a whiny who's jealous, calling only me a coward.
Okay, in this letter, though, one of the things I really found interesting is they make it clear that utilizing his real name, that's all good, you know? Oh, he talked about how he was doxxed. Oh, my God! Only me was doxxed. He was doxxed by the people who love him. And he was given to nobody doxed only me, you bleeping idiot. His legal name was on his YouTube for years. I was like, okay. So they were encouraging use of his real name when talking about him, you know. But he was like, oh man, you know what? The reason I didn't talk about this was because this is my favorite part. I should have taken it down. Look, this is my favorite part. He was like, nobody. You said nobody set me aside. No one set me aside. No one did anything. I set myself aside because I was intimidated. I was afraid. I grew a spine, as you said. Tug. I grew a set of balls. Oh my God.
Check the private chat.
Oh my God. I can't believe this is real. So
I'm watching this right now, actually. It is insane.
Oh my God. This is that good.
It's pretty good. It's 57 minutes long, 54 minutes long.
You need to pick out some sections. Or you know what? You could do a whole stream over that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I will.
Yeah, that might be fun.
I'm sure I will. Folks, it's not a secret. David Jingers's body cam footage from his DUI has dropped, and it's going to be fun to go over later.
Wowie. Well,
finally, it took so long to get this.
It's so bizarre. But okay, so there was one other part I wanted to pull up with this. It was about the comments in Ray's video. You know, she makes it clear. So she told Ray to make his video private. So she's Ray's boss. Isn't that amazing? I thought she was just a commenter. You know, just a random person that talked.
Yeah, that's
in their chat.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, so anyway, he's trying to say my comments in Ray's chat were deleted. They weren't deleted. In fact, what happened when they were absolutely deleted before the thing went private, you know. But she got enough shit about it that she had Ray republish it after telling him not to put it up there. But no, they weren't deleted. In fact, what happened was, because I guess his morons and minions weren't telling us in Coop's chat, they were all bugging out, freaking out. Get screenshots. So I said, Ray, make your video private. Oh, okay, but they ended up getting them before he did anyway, so it's no big deal. There's your shout out, by the way, folks. Oh, they tried to beat you to the punch because she said something she shouldn't have said, and she was like, "Oh God, Ray, make this private." But unfortunately for her, everybody went ahead and grabbed it anyway. So I'm sure that video will be up anytime now.
Mm-hmm.
She told him to take it down. She told him to put it back up. That's great. I was very impressed by that. I was like, man, Ray, I'm glad that, you definitely have somebody telling you what the heck to do, all the time. Isn't that amazing? God, I mean, there are entire sections of this thing, though, that really are just, oh, man, listen to this thing about the drugs. Man, she brags about stuff that she shouldn't. She also decided that she was
speaking of Coop, by the way, did you know that I streamed with him and we did a bunch of stuff. I don't remember what because it never happened. But Lip said that I streamed with him and she had to debunk us. She's debunking streams that never happened, by the way.
Coop, what?
With me and Coop, yeah. I mean, Coop's a cool guy and everything, but I don't remember streaming with him.
That's strange.
Yeah. She's debunking a stream that never happened.
That's amazing.
I know.
Well, what's really bad is most of the idiots in the ecosystem won't go and check. So they'll just take it at face value. They take all this stuff at face value. It amazes me, especially so much of it. She decided to go through, though, and repeat the Lips story. She actually went through it while talking about Ohio. She decided, what would be really smart? I should throw this stuff in here too. Did you know Randy's going to be a witness too? Did you know
that? Really?
No, that's what I'm told in this. Here, I can check this out. So, yeah, right here, talking about the bulldog lawyer and stuff. And apparently Randy's going to be a witness.
Okay.
He was like, what?
I don't know what to say to that. I mean, he has been a witness to a lot of things, so I don't know. Maybe he would be. I don't know.
I mean, okay. Yeah. But they also brought up the fact that we have law enforcement personnel. They confirmed the fact that law enforcement personnel were there. They also, let's say that was at 51. Here we are. Yeah. Oh, everybody's a liar, a liar, a liar. As confirmed not just by an attorney, but by the undersheriff and the deputy. How would you know what they said? That would be weird, huh?
Yeah, and is the undersheriff and the deputy telling another witness what they testified to on the stand?
Yeah, I think somebody else is telling.
You know what? If they did that, if that can be proven that they did that, I believe their testimony might be thrown out as well.
I mean, that's wild, though, to start talking about and bragging about what they had to say. Because, I mean,
but by the way, their testimony could be thrown out for the Ohio case, but it would still remain on the record to be used in another lawsuit against them. It wouldn't be taken off the record. It would just be not used for it. The judge wouldn't use it to make her decision. But everything they said would still be usable.
They were like, you know what? They confirmed Jeremy Hales is the aggressor. They could affirm George got on the stand. George said some BS I'm going to go with. And they debunked it right off the bat. Made it look like a liar. How would you know how that went, too? How do you know what they testified to? They made Jeremy Hales look like a liar. And then Shara got on the stand. Shara sat there crying. I'm afraid of Bruce. And then she claimed she couldn't read the synopsis that she wrote, so they read it for her. And they go through this whole thing. They're talking about what she stated. And also, they had the audacity to say that there's no proof about Hitman allegation, the alligator statement, all of these other things. Oh, there definitely is.
Oh, there's proof.
Yeah, 100%. It's been showcased.
And Shara is she's a first party witness to some of that. She heard them say it. Not only is it in writing and some of it recorded, but she is a witness to hearing it. She heard them say it. They said it directly to her.
Did you know that also, when they went out and they stalked George, you remember that wonderful live stream where they did that? There's a reframing of that now. Yes,
Yeah.
they're killing it.
Yeah, I read that part. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard this, folks, you remember that live stream again? They're driving by and they're like, "Oh, there's George's car," and
Whose
all
car
this.
is that? Was that her car? Is that her car?
So they're like, "Well, back when Jeremy was talking about selling his acreage, he was talking about how he's going to do that," and I was like, "Oh my God, that's all a joke." So in order to debunk it, I was like, let me show you how close to the schoolhouse is to their house. So I did. I was like, it's still there. You can go watch. I pulled out of Michelle's driveway, banged a left. I made a right on the main road, and I showed you the guy's schoolhouse on the right-hand side. And then I turned around and drove back. And somehow she thinks I was there to seek her out, seek a car out, something about stalking George. It had nothing to do with stalking George, okay? Nothing. I'm like, you left out the fact about George and her car and everything else. You seem to have omitted that portion. Oh, my God. These people, again, they do crazy shit, but they're afraid to stick to them. They also, by the way, blamed being a PR team. They blamed that on Shara. Did you know that? Because Shara was the first person. Let me see. Give me a second.
I like how she tries to say, I said we were like a PR team. No, you said we are, in fact, a PR team.
Pictures of it. Holy shit.
You put your name on a website that said PR team.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We are Michelle's voice. That's what you said. You said that. Nobody else said that. You didn't say we are like a PR team. You may have said that later when you realized, oh shit, that means that whatever we do is not privileged and we can't hide the crap we're doing. So then you tried to back out of it, but that's not what you were saying in the beginning. In the beginning, you said we are, in fact, a PR team, and you were bragging about how good you are at PR and how you've done it for many years, and you're going to be Michelle's voice. Yeah, we know. It's all recorded, you dumbass.
She's like, she apparently played something saying, I'm the PR team. Play it back. What's the context? The context is you saying that I said I was like a PR team. Yeah, the picture is a problem.
No, we have it. It's forever in a song, for God's sake. Yeah. You said, we are, in fact, the PR team. That's what you said.
Then I explain, and then later on, I explain what I meant by PR team. I'm not their PR team. Well, no, you don't get that. I've not been paid by anyone. Really? You sat on a lot of their money. Michelle Preston says you got a lot of their money. So you had a lot of reasons to go in and shill for them. As long as you keep spinning this, you keep making money. I believe that gives you a really good, again, not turning the money over to her. And for some weird reason, she's decided to go from talking about going to the cops. This is something I don't understand either, where, the sheriff is such a pal with Lynette Preston, but at the same time, she's so believable in all this. They're all credible, but he won't do anything. These people won't do anything about her complaining about the $100,000. So how does that work? Is she believable or isn't she believable?
I don't know.
I mean, really, it's such
I don't know. I can't keep up with these people and their theories. I can't keep up, Tug. They exhaust me.
Oh, I love some of it. I love this stuff. It's like, oh my God, I'm the smartest person because, I wasn't reporting. I was commenting. Oh, look at me, big brain. Like, no, big something. Oh my God.
Big dummies.
I couldn't believe though they talked about the filming that John Cook did. I was like, are you really gonna talk about that?
Yeah, and they're just excusing him. Well, he can film like anybody else. No, he can't, because unlike everybody else, He has a protective order against him where he is enjoined from going on Jeremy Hales's property, from going anywhere near Jeremy Hales's property, unless he's going to his own property. That's the only time he can be near it, is if he's going to his own property, which happens to be near Jeremy's. He can't go to the schoolhouse, pull over on Jeremy's property, get out of the car and start filming. He can't do that.
She also talks about Jeremy Hales's testimony. Says that Jeremy starts to try to attack.
I'm sorry, did you say testimony or testicle? Because with these people, you don't know.
Yeah, I said testimony, but she did talk a lot about his both. They talked about his D and his chestnuts.
Oh,
yes.
God.
Yeah,
chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
What? I mean, they get really mad. What's funny is they talk about it all the time, all of them. They talk about mushroom this and that. Ray talks about and then he's like, I think these people want me, and they're like, oh my God, how dare he, and they're like, he's anti the gay, like, wait a minute.
No, he's just trying to figure out why you keep talking about his man parts in that weird, salacious way.
I was just like, wait a minute. Are you saying that Ray are you confirming?
Ray gay?
Are you confirming for me? I'm confused. So are you saying yes? I mean, I'm very confused by that one. But they talk about now. I really love this. Number one, because they're talking about Jeremy's supposed testimony. So again, who knows what really happens in this? Like I said, we don't really have a lab, but anything that they say is probably not accurate at this time. But they also, through this, they're no longer denying that she paid for the lawyer. She's like, who cares? Who cares? So they said, Jeremy starts to try to attack the lawyer and starts saying how the lawyer is there invading his life, how he chose to be there to invade his life, and Lisa's paying you. Oh, that's great. Oh, so, and apparently that comes up twice, and that's where the judge had to turn around before it started to get heated, because I guess the lawyer turned around and was like, and your point is everybody's entitled to a lawyer. Your point is, doesn't matter who's paying me. Your point is, there's no denial of that. there's not a denial at all. So they are admitting that they paid. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because if they were, if they were at the denial point anymore, which again doesn't work for them, because they said they can't come off all that money and give it to Lynette Preston, because you can only do for specific things. That's it. That is absolutely it. Nothing else. So they need to really sell that money to Lynette Preston if they're paying for things.
Yep.
I mean, there was a lot more though, but I do like the chat equals opinions, and and Ohio doesn't have jurisdiction over me. That came up again too. Yeah, they're like Ohio.
Okay, but Ohio are you not a witness in an Ohio court? Just answer that question. If you're a witness in an Ohio court, it does have jurisdiction over you. Yes.
No, the better thing is she's like, they can't do anything to me because I don't have a protection order. I was like, wait a minute. So you're admitting that someone doing this something? Stuff? Yeah.
And also, don't worry, Lisa, that will probably change very quickly.
I'm just like, so you're admitting it's a problem if someone under a protective order did it? Mm-hmm. Because this is you doing this on behalf of other people.
On behalf of people who have a protective order against them.
And
probably at the direction of those people, because you didn't get this information from nowhere. You got it from one of the litigants or their lawyer. Either way, that's from them. Their lawyer is their representative. If their lawyer gave it to you, then the lawyer is acting on their behalf.
I thought that was amazing.
She's screwed. She's absolutely screwed. And she can continue to say that she's not screwed and nothing's going to happen to her. But I doubt it. I've seen this magistrate in action. And she doesn't put up with any shit. And I don't think she's going to like this at all. I don't think she's going to like anything that happened here. And Lisa was saying that the judge didn't have screenshots. How does she know? How does she know?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not sure if the judge does or not. I don't have that information, but
she keeps saying she's talking to the attorney. So
Well, I know the judge was told about it. I know that for a fact. And I know that the judge admonished everyone in the courtroom for it. So it sounds to me like the judge had some evidence that this was happening.
Oh, gross, man.
What now? Don't tell me.
No, I'm just going to send you a picture. I'm not going to. This is how stupid these people are getting. You know, Leslie's become just, again, she's a nut. So
she's become a nut. I mean,
no, I'm saying she's become.
She's always a nut.
Yeah, but she's a nut, you know. But like, look at. I'm sending you this through phone.
Where are you sending it?
Phone.
Oh, phone. Okay.
This is a picture. Look at that. Just click on.
All right, hold on.
That's a posted.
Hold on. Oh, did you send it to my Apple text? Yeah. Okay, no, hold on. I was looking at the other one. All right, let's see. Oh, yuck! Ew.
How is that not a problem?
Just people are gross. You know, she's a lot like paint chips. They are very similar.
Well, she thinks she can go out and she can claim anything. And because she makes a claim that, you know, oh, well, there was something that I was shown very briefly. This thing that they can just make up a story and then they can go and run somebody down. It does not work that way.
Well, she also has made, if you notice, she has made distinction about saying things outside of court versus saying things under oath. She thinks she's protected by saying whatever she wants if she's not under oath. I think that's what she's counting on saving her. But that's not going to save you in a civil action. You are accountable for what you say, even outside of court. Just saying it outside of court, if it's a lie, that just keeps you from committing perjury, but it doesn't keep you from defamation charges.
I mean, you know, you're talking about some rather egregious stuff. And she has gotten all these, and these other people, they think, they've said this. They think because she said it, that it somehow protects them in the repetition.
That they can repeat it. But no, you can't repeat defamation that you know to be false and maliciously do it. And I believe that they do know that it's false. And I do believe that they are malicious.
Well, they've been talking about conspiracy, you know, setting the guy up and doing this. So they actively are admitting that they they were trying to ruin the guy. So I think, Hale, you don't need a lot to prove that. Here's where they're talking about John Cook taking pictures, though. So they're admitting, you know, oh man, you know, George isn't in fear of her life. Like,
how do they know?
Well, because you know George has. She doesn't have an escort all the time. Jeremy Hale.
So are they following her? How do they know this?
Well, they're saying that that he's off at this one place, and she's. Yeah, here it is. Let me quote this.
Oh my God! Why are they stalking George?
I mean, look.
Why do they know
would
her
he
every
leave
move?
her at the schoolhouse alone?
How do they know she's alone?
For months, exactly. That's what
how do they know she's alone? How do you know that unless you're stalking someone?
Because these people are running around taking pictures. They talk about this in this context, though. So,
oh my God!
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is nuts. So, in context, I'm just going to read this. And what is it? How do you think they would know that they're alive or she's alive? And then do something completely different when you're outside of the courtroom, because that's what he does. George isn't in fear for her life. Lisa, why would he leave her at the schoolhouse alone if he's so scared?
How do you know that she's alone? And it's really creepy that you're saying that.
Well, then they go into the picture. Exactly. Who's even effing kidding? You know, they brought up some stupid thing because they said that they had to move the employees from the schoolhouse, and they're bringing up the fact that John took pictures of the schoolhouse or something. You're mad because someone took pictures? You, Mr. Cameraman? You're mad because someone else took pictures? Took pictures? Yeah, to prove he's lying. So they're telling you, yes, it did happen. Yes, it did indeed happen. That they didn't move employees. The employees are still there. They're stalking them.
How do they know this?
They're talking about they're taking pictures and stalking them to check this stuff out. That's what they're saying.
It's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's it's dangerous is what it is. They're encouraging these people that have talked about insane shit to keep pushing forward and forward and forward. This is a guy that is stated that he's strapped all the time, and on top of it, you've got Preston, who stated to the police that, hey, if there's someone around and he feels like he's recorded or something, he'll whip out the old pew pew. So
I think this is so crazy. They know that George is scared to be by herself, and yet they're advertising to the public that she's by herself. What the hell? What is even happening right now? How is that? And it really makes me upset, because of all the people to go after, George is not one of them. I mean, it does feel like, Jeremy's very bombastic. He throws a good insult around. They can go back and forth with Jeremy, but George is not doing that. George is really not involved in a lot of this, and they are acting like it's okay to terrify her. It's not okay to do it to Jeremy either, but it really bothers me when they're doing it to George. And it bothers me because they're completely disregarding the fact that there is a protective order against these people, and they're just helping them stalk her and helping them make her feel vulnerable. So now she knows they're watching her every move.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick. It's really sick and they love to use the word sick and twisted. Mm-hmm. What else do you call this?
It's wild that they brag about this stuff, man.
It's disgusting.
It is. It's wild that they sit around bragging about this stuff. Look what we're doing. Look what we're doing. It's like, yeah, you're terrorizing people. How can you say that this is not going out and trying to? And then after saying this, within minutes, they're spinning the fact that, you know what, Michelle, she should get a protective order. Oh my God.
What does she need a protective order for exactly?
Well, it's great. They're like, she should have never dropped the temporary protective order on him. She was advised to do otherwise. But my opinion, she should have never dropped it, and they're making threats. And then Guapo, in the middle of their threats and shit, Guapo pops up, and then it turns into talking about. Then it talks about, oh yeah, let's talk about being high, because I'm sitting here starfishing. I'm thinking about the starfish.
Oh, he's such an
I'm
idiot.
sitting back and I'm like, man, at one point, this guy was asking me for starfish edibles, and like, because I got a medical card. He was like, holy shit.
What?
There's hours. Yes, hours.
Hours, yeah.
Yeah, I got to the point where with this, I was like, okay. I just started. I turned off. I did learn certain things though, like the fact that Guapo, when he's discussing this, he does talk about having 3 phones that he uses. So,
that's interesting.
Yeah. So if you ever need to find out about his phones and what he's stating, and he's saying this information isn't on my phone. Well, which phone are you talking about? Because he admits to 3. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild, but I mean, it goes on for freaking hours. It's like, oh my God, and then I get into some weird thing that I have no idea about, some drama. I did notice that they did throw a Flutter in there again. Yes, of course, because it'll never stop. And when they run out of content, what they'll do is they'll circle back and they'll go after them yet again. The mods, of course, they'll never be off topic. Hey, can you hold this for 1 second? I'm going to check on somebody real quick.
Sure. All right, chat. What's going on? What's going on over there? Echo Streaming says, I bet they put cameras at the ranch's schoolhouse. Oh, I'm sure. They do have that. But the idea that they're just advertising that they know that she's alone or where she is at all times is really scary. They should not. That should be a violation. That's crazy. She needs to go get a protective order against these people. These people are nuts. I also want to know that I think John Cook ought to be arrested for going to Jeremy's property and taking pictures. I mean, my God, he's enjoined from doing that. And of course, Levy County isn't going to do anything. Unreal. Unreal. All right. So if you guys don't know, David Gingras is the attorney for Laura Owens, who is almost as bad as Bruce, but not quite. And this is his body cam footage that just dropped. He got a DUI as his third, I think, second or third DUI. Should we watch a little bit? This should be funny. I haven't seen this yet. Let's watch a little bit.
It's all him.
I just told him speed.
All right, where you guys staying at?
He's going to Scottsdale Princess.
Okay. All right.
I'm down in Gilbert.
Down in Gilbert? Okay. All right. Hang on. All right.
Thank you.
Oh boy. Let's see. It has it. Yeah. You're such a douchebag too.
Do you have a senior corpsman?
Oh boy. I heard he got arrested by a female cop, which is just absolutely perfect
he
for him.
that.
Yeah, and apparently she was real stern with him, which I can't wait to see.
Oh my God.
Is this him doing a sobriety test? All right, let's just watch a couple seconds of this. This is going to crack me up. Good night, Hangry. Oh, I'm not going to argue with you either. She's. Oh, I heard they asked him, "What kind of lawyer are you?" Because he was like, "I'm a lawyer." and she goes, "What kind of lawyer?" And he goes, "Well, that's irrelevant." So he's an irrelevant lawyer. I agree. I agree.
I actually agree too. That's that's very much. Oh my God, that's cool.
What?
I was looking at Temu real quick, because I can't do just one thing. And I noticed, My Little Pony.
Mm-hmm.
They have, Aliens, the franchise, the Xenomorph, you know what I'm talking about. Like Sigourney Weaver aliens. They have a My Little Pony alien.
Oh, that's funny. Have you watched the Alien series?
The new one that just came out? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't like the way it ended so far, but I'm not going to ruin it for anybody. But I think
I just finished what's out so far, and I really liked. I kind of liked
that eyeball, man. That thing is crazy.
That eyeball is freaky.
Yeah,
but also,
brutal.
I can't believe that I was rooting for the alien.
I know, man. I hated the people. It was like, man, get them all.
I was like, get them all. Get them all. I want to see them all die.
Yeah. But I can't say much about that. I do kind of root for the aliens. My daughter, she'll I'll be like, you want to watch Alien? She'll be like, the black alien. And it's like, yeah. That's what she calls it, the black alien. I was like, yeah, as opposed to what, the green aliens and stuff, you're talking about? Yeah. She's like, yeah, I want to watch the horror alien,
Right.
Yeah, she loves that freaking show. When she was little, she would always request, like, are you sure you want? Yes, she liked Newt, so she always wanted to watch that.
One of my favorite characters in the new Alien show is the sheep with the eyeball.
Yeah.
That thing is scary as heck.
Well, what I did like about it, so Dark Horse, a comic company, they procured the rights to Aliens after the second Alien movie. Most people have seen the Aliens, it's Aliens. Well, after that, before the third came along and they kind of wreck everything. That's because Sigourney Weaver, by the way. Sigourney Weaver was like, I don't believe in firearms, so the only way I'll do this is no firearms. And they're like, well, we can't kill an army of aliens without firearms. So that's why you end up all these people iced, That's why you lost Nude and everything. But Dark Horse, they did a series called Earth Hive. It's they did a book series and there was a comic series. And oh God, that is such a good series because it picks up all the characters. They end up, instead of going the way Alien 3 goes, they end up going back to Earth. And of course, Hicks, as the cloning ring, he is scarred. I mean, it messes him up badly because he saw everyone die.
Mm-hmm.
He's haunted. He becomes a washout. Sigourney Weaver disappears, and Newt grows up, and she's a problem. So for years, that's the way things go until on Earth, there's a minor mishap around the planet, and it happens with an alien. So the company that lost out on the alien, they're like, you know what would be a good idea? We're going to bring an alien to Earth. That'll be a great idea, you know.
Terrific.
But they
I love it I love it how these storylines go. Like, oh yeah, that's a terrific idea. What?
Well, it sounds like a
bring them
greedy
to
corporation. It sounds just
Uh-huh.
like what one would do, though. You know.
Yeah,
So they
true.
bring it, and they don't understand one of the things they never look into. And I love this about the story, where they were exploring how the biology of the alien works. The aliens. You'll notice they're not using. They use some sound, verbal, but they either communicated with pheromone or they communicated mentally in some way. And they find out that the alien, it communicates mentally with its drones. And the only problem is the little aliens aren't the only ones who picked it up. People who are mentally ill can pick it up too.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So somebody busts these after there's so many eggs that are laid. The mentally ill are convinced, hey, let's lay siege to this place. They bust out all these eggs and
Oh
they
my
take them
God.
everywhere. And they can control it at first. So on Earth, you imagine, like, I love this story, but they wanted to make this movie and they couldn't because you can imagine the price tag on this movie.
Sure.
But they have like outbreaks in cities and they contain them okay. The problem is someplace in the middle of, Podunk, in the middle of, say, Idaho, they have some, livestock out there. An alien builds a hive, and before you know it's out of control. So they end up losing control of Earth in the book series. They have to leave. And man, they made some great freaking books. If anybody is interested, they've released all of those, by the way. God, if you like those series, they're so good. I'm a big fan of all that.
Well, I really like the new series they did. I especially love how Wendy can talk to them. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Super cool.
there was a lot of like I think sometimes that some people will never be happy, and I get it. As a fan, I will complain, but there's a difference of fan complaint and boycott this show.
Yeah,
And
I try to just enjoy things for what they are, and like I try to ignore if they put crap in there that I think is unnecessary. I just try to ignore it because truly, like if I enjoyed something, like I just try not to let it bother me, whatever the weird, thing
if
is.
it's got
Because I do
weird
think like
messaging.
people get picky.
It's not just that. You get this expectation from companies. They've done bad for so long that you have this expectation that they're always going to do bad. And at that point, you have to make a decision. Are you going to give up on entertainment from a
Right,
specific
from
type?
that
You're gonna give up-
company, yeah.
Yeah. And for a lot of actually from franchises, I have given up on certain franchises and a lot of
Sure.
like Disney. God, no Star Wars anymore. I never thought in my life I'd say that as a
See,
kid.
we still like it. Like that's Star Wars fans kill me because you're just all like you're too invested or in the way you think it should go. If you watch it with an unsullied, eye, like through the eyes of a child, for instance, and which is the way that I try to watch these things because my children are into it and they really like it. Like there was so much criticism of The Mandalorian. It's one of my favorite shows. I love it. I think it's great.
I don't think we should have ever had a series with Boba Fett. Boba Fett, is a character that was just menacing out there. The idea of what he is. They did make a couple of books off of him, which were pretty good. But the idea as a kid, I'd be like, oh, those bounty hunters, they're badasses, and then biker gang and stuff. I don't know. Like we say, look through the eyes of a child. The problem is, like when I watched the new Disney Star Wars, I feel like I had to look at them through the eyes of a child dropped on their head repeatedly. And I was just like, no,
But see, it's easier to enjoy it when you don't like, you haven't read all the lore in the books and stuff because I haven't. So I don't know and I don't care. And I just, if it entertains me, then I'm cool with it. It's fine. Yes, I thought the Jack Black thing was stupid, but also it was like one episode, so who cares? It wasn't the entire thing.
When I got to that point, I wasn't watching them anymore because I was like, you know what? They made enough statements about how they just don't really give a crap what fans think, and now they do because they're hemorrhaging money. Did you realize that Netflix makes more money than all of Disney? All of its stuff combined, as far as I'm not talking about, I'm talking profit. So
that doesn't surprise me. I mean, Disney has not listened to people for a long time, but now that Kathleen Kennedy is gone, that should make things better, don't you think? With the Star Wars,
I think some of it's maybe too little, too late. That's the problem.
Maybe
you damage, and the thing is too, like one of the major problems they committed is you talk about all the lore and stuff. Disney was like, you know what, all this extended lore, we're just gonna throw it out. None of that counts anymore. So they took decades of stuff and they were like, do over. And if they had something amazing, you were like, oh yes, I'm glad they brought that in. But no, they didn't have anything amazing.
Yeah, I think it's better if you just don't know about all that stuff like I do. I don't know any of that. So it doesn't bother me because I don't know it.
See,
so
I'm hardcore on all of that. It's like this. I grew up on it enough. One day I was driving to work. I went down a back road, so I'm driving pretty slow because tiny little road, but it's faster for me to go. And I'm driving past this house and notice they're doing a cleanup. There's a couple of garbage cans on the side of the road. And as I'm driving by, I notice an arm sticking up out of it, like a toy arm. It's a little, it's not huge, but it's bigger than a figure. And I was like, oh my God, that's a Rancor, from Star Wars. That's a Rancor's arm. Now, if I can drive by a garbage can and recognize while I'm driving, that there's a toy arm sticking out.
That's pretty deep. That's pretty deep.
Like, man, when I told people about that afterwards, I was like, look what I found. They were like, so you were driving and you could see me? Hell yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
It was impressive. They were like, yeah, you want them, take them. We're just going to throw them to the road. I was like, all right. So I did give them some money for them because I was like, I'm robbing you, but so I did give them. I felt bad about it. But, it's still. Anyway, I think I'm going to hit the super chats. Are you out of here? Or are you
perfect timing? I just started to yawn. Perfect timing.
Good.
I'm out.
All right. Have fun. We will see you tomorrow.
See?
All right, folks. I again, the whole thing, like when they're talking about stuff, again, we discussed part of what came up on the live streams there. And I find these idiots, I find them entertaining, not for the damage they try to do or the awful that they're attempting, but just how stupid some of this stuff that they do is. I'm amazed, as a spectator. And that's what all of us are, ultimately. We are spectators watching something just unbelievably insane. As we watch it, they do more and more and more crazy stuff. I can't believe they have attached themselves to the Leslie story. Like, I would not in my life attach myself to an allegation where they have changed their narrative up enough to say that, well, she supposedly saw a picture of something, but he controlled it and he flashed it there. And it's like, that's really dumb. It went from a video in possession to supposedly something shown, and they're still attaching themselves to that. They think that as long as someone else is saying it, there's no culpability or liability in it. And wow, the liability starts with a big lie like that. But on top of it, I'm shocked when they're telling me that all of them colluded behind the scenes. All of them. They all decided they were going to set Jeremy up. This is, again, their narrative. Now, do I believe their narrative? Well, it doesn't matter, does it? Because I want them to stick to this narrative. I like the fact, not because it's damaging that they bring this up, but again, as I was noting earlier, and then we'll get the super chats on this. Like I said, I really want to hammer this here. They're saying that Leslie and her husband, who is also her lawyer, they colluded with these other people to try to manipulate Jeremy Hales. She reaches out to him. And of course, when she's going to do that, he tries to get information from her. Of course, of course. But they talk about how they set him up and they played his ass. That's what their wording is here. They say as part of that she and her husband, they pretend to be fighting, because then Jeremy Hales will come and save her. Now, again, to hammer this point here, this is someone that she has accused of some very bad things. She accused him, again, on the docket. You can see this here, of DB with kids. And this isn't horribly old. Back in the day, we are talking about, again, we're talking about less than a year ago. And she's made quite a few statements. She's made songs about him doing horrible things, and they get together, according to them, and they try to utilize that to set someone up. That, again, the ethics of that alone are just horrendous. The idea that a lawyer in a lawsuit would engage in that behavior is beyond abhorrent. But on top of that, somebody they're going to collude with their client and with outside folks to try to do this. I mean, again, the narrative to that alone is absolutely crazy. When I saw that, I thought, that is next level insane. They don't think 3 steps ahead. They don't even really think about the step that they're in. But my God, they figure they can do anything with impunity. They can destroy, they can accuse, I mean, anything that they want. And that's not how it works. They've gotten away with a lot, but at the same time, the same person that's involved in this, they've also been in trouble before too. So I would not base my freedom on someone like that. But hey, again, what do I know? Right? So let's hit some super chats there. Wanda, thanks for the fun. I went to visit my son's grave. So in my film, that is very understandable. Love and support with you. I can't say I've compared anything like that. I remember when we lost my brother, and it was suddenly, it was very rough. He was in high school. He had just graduated, and he was feeling fatigued. We thought flu or something, of course, right? Because like I said, just finished. He was getting ready. It was his break between getting ready for college. So he's feeling fatigued and everything. They thought it was the flu. They diagnosed him with it, and it just kept getting worse. So they went back and they looked at him again, and they had missed the fact that he was bruising, had all these other issues. And it turned out that it wasn't the flu, it was leukemia. And before that break was over, he was gone. So I remember, not just on my side of it, but my father, my stepfather, I remember how awful that was. And man, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So, our love with you. I appreciate you. And if you need something, let us know. Okay. Max Lab, thank you for the super chat. Let me get a drink, by the way. Man, I've been drinking water like a horse. Oh, let me tell you about something real fast while we're on this. Today, I had a wonderful doctor experience, and I was very irritated with it. Megan was talking about at the beginning. I got a call from the cardiologist that wanted to set up an appointment. And during that, they talked about like I had tests. They haven't contacted me about that. And they hadn't contacted me for a follow-up with a doctor appointment, even though I've tried to contact them multiple times. So they were like, yeah, we dropped the ball, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like, hey, you did more than drop the ball. You know, this is only my health there. But I was complaining about my symptom increase off of brain fog and some other issues, you know. Like, I mean, brain fog has been rough, but there's some other things. And I was like, you know, this isn't good and you all aren't paying attention to it. So I ended up talking to Vanderbilt today, you know, trying to get some stuff done because they were supposed to send me to a neurologist and they didn't. Then now to cover their butt, the neurologist was like, yeah, we tried to call you and there was no answer. I was like, well, that's cool. I can pull up my phone and we can pull up the number. Well, let's look. Let's see if they ever did. No. We don't need to do that. We don't need to. So again, I was very irritated with it. Well, I guess I was a little too difficult today because the cardiologist office called me back and they told me, you know, you're cleared on this part. So, you know, we'll refer you. Okay, that's good because I was supposed to have that before. But also, we want you to discontinue the medication you're on. And I was like, wait a minute. I read about this medication, and this medication says that you don't just stop it. You know, it's rough on your system when it does it because I've been taking it for a minute, and I agree. There's a problem. It's either a dosing issue or it's something, you know. But it definitely came with it. But I was like, you know, with the original problem. That stopped the original problem. Won't that bring the original problem back? And I swear the conversations with Vanderbilt were so infuriating today that, oh my God, it was just like, I'm ready to kick somebody in the mouth. You know, I was very irritated. And I dealt with, you know, unfortunately with cardiologists, neurologists or anything, they have pretty much taken out any of this, anybody who, if they want to make any money, they don't work privately. They work through these places or they don't take insurance, one or the other, you know. So they pretty much between three places, they own Tennessee. And it's, it's frustrating to deal with them. Very frustrating. But so I was I noticed something today. I'd been, you know, I'm not saying I've been just laid back and don't do anything, but I'd been, I think easier to deal with than maybe I should have. So today I was very vocal and I noticed something. Things got done, you know. People, now funny enough, Vanderbilt, they told me with the person that I talked to there, they were not very helpful at first, in my opinion. So I asked them, you know, if I could talk to another person in Vanderbilt. And they were like, no, I don't have a supervisor. There's no one else. I'm your person. I was like, well, I don't want you to be my person. I want someone else. They were like, no one else. So they were pretty obstinate and nasty until I was like, well, you know, so I can't escalate. Nope, can't escalate. I was like, well, I can escalate it to the insurance company or I can escalate it to the state if I have to. Then they were nicer. But I was like, this is ridiculous, man. You know, it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. In the state of healthcare, anybody that tells you that we have privatized individual healthcare because we have a better system than anywhere else, they've never sat waiting for an appointment for 6 months just to deal with some stupid. It's crazy. But anyway, I wanted to rant for a minute. I could rant a lot more, but I'll let the rest go for now. Max left though. Thank you for the super chat there. Also, thank you for sending over a document as well today. Appreciate that, man. Is that Zarina? Am I pronouncing it right? Thank you for the 6 months there. Pond Scum Posse. Heck yeah. Represent, baby. That's right. The Pond Scum Posse. I love that, by the way. Rezilla, thanks for the 5. What do you get when the ecosystem runs from justice? I'm getting a 9 on the Rickner scale. That's true. That is true. We get California slipping off into the ocean. Emma, thanks to the two there. Lurk attacks. I hope you have a great weekend. Well, thank you. You know, the weekend here was crazy. We got lucky on the storm side of everything. You know, compared to, say, Nashville. You saw the pictures with Nashville. Compared to that, we were in pretty good shape. But Fallen Hero, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you, Fallen Hero. And again, as always, man, thank you for being here. Appreciate you every time. Appreciate you, man. Like clockwork. Tracy, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships there. Thank you, Tracy. That's awesome. Again, you folks that send memberships, very much appreciate you. You know, give to other people, help with the channel. Thank you. Let's see. Dawn, thanks for the 5. Yep, that was us. They raised our property taxes and said it was to play for Fleet Mate. That's nuts, by the way. That's how it's gone in Tennessee before, too, with trucks. We had one of the worst years that we had when I was a teenager. Either a teenager or right when I was a young adult. I can't remember, you know, right in that part. But we had a year where we had one of the worst ice storms that Tennessee had seen. And the year it was exacerbated because our entire fleet of snowplows going from Nashville, they weren't available. What a mess. What an absolute mess. Melissa, but hey, all of you stay safe. Hopefully you all have had some melt off. We have here, finally. We had some melt off. Took a while, but thankfully it's gone. But I want to note that all of you stay safe out there. Melissa, thanks, 5. Don't live far from Pittsburgh. I can confirm that so many trucks down. There's also a salt shortage. Oh no. Fun times. Stay warm. Ugh. You know, fun times indeed, right? Fun times indeed. Jen, have I tried vitamin therapy? I have tried adding vitamins and supplements. One of the problems that came with adding on is, again, so the specialists especially, they are terrible about, they'll give you a pill and then no instruction. I was kind of shocked when I read about the medication that I was on and how it causes like salt depletion and other items. And they had the audacity to say, yeah, that kind of stuff. We don't really handle that. We don't handle follow-up. That's with a PCP. It was like, but you're the prescribing doctor, you know, shouldn't you like give information and, you know, make sure everything's okay. And if someone's complaining about, you know, again, like for me, brain fog has become a real issue, and my ears ringing. Oh God. So they're just like, oh, discontinue. So I asked them about that today. I forgot to put this in. I was like, shouldn't I, you know, shouldn't I, you know, step it down a little? What is that? Titrate? Is that the right word? Maybe every other day or this. Well, we don't know. We'll call you back. And they didn't. They didn't call me back. I was like, lovely. And, you know, it's not limited. The crazy thing is it's not limited to like Vanderbilt or to one specialist. This has been 3 of them, you know, and they get to the point where if they can't find something out quickly, they will label the symptoms and they'll just let you sit in limbo. And that's not good. There is something wrong. That's why your body does this. But yeah, I've been trying vitamins, checking levels. I've been trying, you know, again, stuff for circulation. I added, with that pill, at first I added electrolyte drinks to help with the salt. And I had to adjust it to, you know, they have the salt ones and they have the potassium labeled ones. And a lot of them, they didn't work well. So I started drinking V8 in the morning, and that did help a little bit. But also I added some supplements, but you have to be careful on those. And again, you know, it's like, oh my God. It's bad though when you have to figure out how things work. That's not how it's supposed to go. You also shouldn't have to lean on them about appointments. God, they lie though. We tried to contact. No, you didn't. My phone's wide open. I'm here all the time. You know, we can pull it up. We can check it. No. Well, why didn't you call my emergency contacts if you can't? Well, we don't have approval, but you've done that before. You've done it with the offices. Why would this be any different? They also told me if they try to call a couple of times and they don't get a hold of you, they just assume maybe you chose another option and they don't follow up. Really? That's crazy. So they're not checking with you. We're talking cardiology. We're talking about heart problems. If they don't get a hold of you a couple of times, they assume you went with another option. Yeah, you leave people like that, they may end up with another option. That other option is no option. It was just a crazy talk. And it really, God, it needs to be exposed is what it needs to be. But anyway, Melissa, yeah, that's you stay warm too. You all stay safe, like I said. Dan, thanks for the 10 there. Whoever left the freezer door open, please shut it. Yes, indeed. I had so I picked up 2 Sunbeam heating blankets, big, like bigger ones with twin size. One of them, I was switching the plug out of it, rolling it up, and the plug cracked in half. So it's like, you got to be kidding me. Today's been one of those days. But again, let's get it all in January so the year can get better. No drama, Muppeteer. Thanks for the fun. Is a gold star donor. I hate stolen valor liars. That's an 80-year-old asshole liar. Yeah. Well, actually, to note, he is a veteran. As far as I know, that Ray is a veteran. The problem is, like what they're saying with that is that he's an ex-veteran. You don't become an ex-veteran. Yeah. How does that work at all? And they also, what really bothers me, my grandfather, he was very religious, very austere. He believed what he believed, man of very few words. He was a man's man, He handled life the way like old school men did. In that, though, you would think somebody like that might not believe in the freedoms that we have. But my granddad, I was kind of in awe of the way that he approached that, because when he talked about a combat and talked about his friends and stuff and losing them as well, which bothered him until he died. When he talked about that, he said, all this stuff, even the things that he thought were awful, like that's what people gave their lives for. And it amazes me when I see people that they want to remove the freedoms of other folks because they don't like what they're saying. They're very uncomfortable with it. They want to remove your ability to speak. Not like, look, the ecosystem out here talking about actual harm, like hurting people. But they want to remove people's ability because they don't like you calling them stupid or boring. It's like, are you kidding me? So that bothers me with some of these absolute morons. I hate when somebody uses that status to argue against the fundamental principles that you should be protecting. That's what bothers me with these people. And hey, by the way, no drama, Muppeteer. Love to you and yours, and thank you for their service. Rogue Pirate, thanks for the tear. Oh yeah, the Generac Fund. Hey man, maybe if I start stacking these a little at a time, maybe next year I'll be ready for it. I mean, for real. God, through all of this, I thought, man, I definitely need to get the backup generator hooked up to a house for sure. Emma, what's up, Emma? Loving them Muppet as always. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships there. Again, thank you for that, and others, thank you as well. Appreciate you. Auntie, thanks for the 2 months there. Lips and Chips didn't show up in court today. Oh, they didn't, huh? Lips was doing a makeup stream. What the what? They've done this, one of the things that you find with court is just how much courts allow some of these people to disrespect them. And then after the fact, they're like, oh, we had an emergency or we had this or that. And meanwhile, you're like, hey, this person was jerking around online. Like they weren't, was the emergency, like you said, doing makeup tips? Is that an emergency? I'm not really sure. So that'd be interesting. I'm curious how that'll go. What's up, Kitty Kate? I love that name, by the way. Appreciate that. Oh, look at that. It's cute too. Like this stuff. Oh, by the way, too, somebody sent me a bunch of puppets, and they're hilarious. They are a bunch of they're turtle puppets, and I haven't quite figured out what we're gonna do with them yet. But the little ones who are like, hey, let's just like stick them on our hands and let's just like record something with them. So we may do that. Who knows? But they are awesome. I appreciate it. We've been having fun with them. We've been goofing off a lot with it. So thank you to whoever sent that. And Kitty Cake said, love you too. I love back to you. Appreciate the heck out of you, and 14 months, too. That's amazing. Thank you. And Slinky, thanks for the 3 months there. The Fats would eat a carrier pigeon. Yeah, if you send it over, they'd be like, chicken skins, free chicken skins. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Well, thankfully there's nobody to take it down over there. Oh Lord. I mean, they couldn't motivate to take it down. That'd be like Stupid Dave doing it. And then the other one is probably just too poppy seated, let's say. And something to bark about. What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for the 5 there. I would worry about for the bird. Yes, that is true. That was sent to Felicia. Yes, that is indeed true. Don't stop, just drop. That would be horrible. You are right. The Last Humanoid, like the name there. Thank you for the 2. There's not a statement, but it is a statement. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Andre, thanks for the 2 there. They're grasping at straws, and no, they're losing. They're the whole thing that they've tried to do now with statements about what was happening in the court. That was bad. That was really bad and stupid. Again, you can't just go in and say, you can't draw a distinction. I can't say that when I'm in, whomever's chat and I say something that there's somehow different rules that apply. You can call it whatever you want. You can say, hey, I'm not reporting or whatever, but that doesn't mean that you can just do whatever. It's not limited. That's the strangest spin I've ever seen. Like that somehow matters in the court of law. Semantically, I was just doing, that's not. Like what they're trying to say is I wasn't giving up to date statements, but they were definitely talking about who was on the stand, when they were on the stand, who was coming up next, and they've been talking to witnesses too. That is a problem, a big problem. The Last Humanoid, thank you for the 5 there too. Why haven't the Fats talked about the deputies in court? Maybe their testimony was damaging to LMNOP. Maybe. I think what I'm wondering in some of this too, they said they're gonna reveal all, later on. So we'll see what that means. I also think that they're scared. They know that they messed up because no matter what they've said about unprivating a live stream, they removed all the commentary. They ghosted all of that. They made sure that was gone before it was brought up. They actually made sure it was gone before they privatized it. They bragged about that in their stream here. So, again, I think that they have potentially done some real damage to LMNOP with that. Because again, these are the kind of things that, they can get you in major trouble. These are people, again, they have admittedly called themselves their PR. They're trying to mitigate the damages with that too. And pretend that, no, we never did that. And it's kind of wild to see because everyone knows they put together a website. We all saw the website for PR. In fact, that's one of the things that actually, if you're new to this story for some reason and haven't heard about it, so they put together a website. They made it. Okay. So they did this, not some random person out there. They put together a website. They put it together with the name of the child that they were monetizing. And they put themselves, they put in Bruce Matskin at the time as the legal team, and they put themselves as the PR team. They did it. No one else made this. They did it. Now, their answer to that was, it was just a space holder. A space holder? Like, who in the world, first of all, talks about having a PR team out there? Give me 1 second. Let me get a drink. I gotta get water. But who out there? I'm getting a water. I got a whole bag of them over here. Oh, God. Give me 1 second. Oh, I ran out of water over here. Sorry. Who brags about being PR? Like, that's a strange thing to brag about, right? That is. It's a strange thing to just, without anyone else talking about or exerting any pressure, that's a strange thing for you just to randomly be like, you know what? I'm their PR team. You know? It's like, are you kidding me? Do you hear? I mean, most people will never in their life say, I have a PR team. But these folks, they bragged about it. They're happy to say it until they got blowback for it. Then they suddenly weren't their PR team. I mean, they suddenly became this thing that, God, they just lie all the time. Like, nobody knows. But yeah, I'm curious about what the deputy thing went with. So Travis, thanks for the 5. I missed a part of my leg due to a Harley accident. It could be, and could beat the F out of them fools on the outside of my leg off after a 6-pack. Yeah, for them to say that, you know, again, you're talking about fighting and stuff. I bet all that side's never been in a fight. Now, what's crazy, they came out. See, Gabe, he wanted to make threats to Jeremy Hales about how he was going to beat him. They were going to fight him. So they started making all these statements about how they were going to do this and they were going to do that. And then they were like, oh, but it's for charity. It's for charity, which is the strangest thing too. You know, I mean, it's so bizarre. It is. I think it's funny to imagine Gabe again, high all the time. Freaking, yeah, he's not big, not at all. And Hale's a big dude. Also, Gabe talks about his medical issues. I mean, after all, he needs the medicinal herb, but he's in a state where he can fight people. That's kind of a weird little dichotomy, isn't it? Oh yeah, I'm great. I can do it. I need this. So, okay. Shazzy, what's up? Thanks for the 3. Bit late. Please tell me no cat screeching today. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Share it. Thanks for the 2. Megan, check email. Sumter County. Huh. I don't know. Did she catch whatever you were talking about? If it's something that we should have covered, by the way, send it over too, and I'll at least for nothing more. I'll preserve it. I'm not sure what that was on. I can't believe, like I said, they were bringing up business contacts and all. I mean, again, it was their transcript. It is insane. Like Megan was saying, they were bringing up names. I don't know any of these places or people. You know, I'm not going to bring them up again outside of their notation. But I mean, they bring up channels, my name, and they talk about how they're contacting all these places and these people, and they're trying to ruin them. Again, they're attacking their ability to do business with other people. They've done it with other places too. It's crazy. Catherine, thanks for the 5. You know what's crazy? If Jeremy Hales did this, oh yeah, they'd be all over it quoting. Yeah, that's exactly what I've said with a lot of this stuff. If Jeremy Hales was out doing any of these items. If Hales was out there encouraging a family to go out and to do terrible things to one of these people, you know, like they did with Travis, the statements. If you think about, like, if that were, if they had encouraged somebody to, or rather, if he had encouraged somebody to do harm like that, oh God. And then, you know, you look at all the other statements and stuff. If there were things like that, they would put them in every intro imaginable. You know why those kind of things are not in intros for any of our channels, by the way? It's because there's so much of it. It's so much. They pretend none of it exists. I'm just boggled by the fact, too, that, again, I could have a protective order in Levy County. And Levy County will make an effort to go to another state, not another jurisdiction, but another state to try, instead of honoring and upholding my protective order, they will go somewhere else after colluding, according to Preston, with these people for months to get it right. And they will try to cause harm. That says to me, man, if that's Florida, yeah, I don't want any of it. It's frightening to me. It's frightening, because if you had a protective order, what that says to me is that if it's not convenient, you could have a problem. Dragon Lady Crafts. Hey, thanks for the 4 months there. Walrus probably thought sequestration means sequest. I liked Sequest back in the day, by the way, the 1990s. The TV show, I remember it. Or the new 2026 attraction at SeaWorld, where she went perfectly. She's like, sequestration? Indeed. I could see that. Sequest, man. I really like that. Emma, thanks for the 5 there. Tums. Indeed. Indeed. Yes. Meet my friend Gerd. Second verse, worse than the first. Oh, Lord. Rogue Pirate, thanks for the 2. Tums from Megan. Indeed. Indeed. I think we all need them after that. Chance MP, thanks for the 2. I literally felt nauseous, followed by vomit. Yes, it's pretty awful. If you take that and you add in the Marla quotes about twerking, I think that's when it gets really interesting. You know, Marla talking about twerking is so gross. Sammy, what's up, Sammy? Thanks for the 4 months. Tug Lugging Bug, I love you guys monthly. You all make me smile and laugh every time. Thank you there. Appreciate it. Love it when Tug corrects himself up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I like it sometimes. Like, just some of the stupid. And again, it's just some of the things I run across randomly. It's so amazing. People should, if you're curious, you should look up something. You should look up the Loofamobile and look up Loofamobile driver, and you'll find, you know, if you squint and you look, you'll find a couple of pictures out there where they try to remove themselves, but they are indeed in the vehicle. And yeah, zoom in on that. You know, and remember, you know, that's the AI catfish that you see all the time. Something to bark about. Thanks to Megan. My chihuahuas need leg warmers. I said egg warmers. Oh, shit. Leg warmers. Triple X small. Indeed. Indeed. You know what? My Cokes, my drinks, they need a warmer. I know I could buy a cozy, you know, but no, it doesn't work that way. Double Karma, thanks for the 2 there. Screenshot sent. Jeremy Hales and crew already. Doug and Megan. Yeah, the thing they tried to get the screenshots. Okay, so you got all that stuff too good. It's funny, they assume that people are not out there taking screenshots. They're not out there like keeping up and watching. And to me, that's just it's wild. It's wild to think that they're dumb enough to think they could do something. They could put it in chats and then ghost it later on, and nobody would be the wiser. You know? Like, they're not enough eyes, and now there are a lot more eyes. since the hearing stuff is going on, there are a lot of people, and a lot of people have been watching with Ray to see what the hell he says. They watch this insane group of people. I like I said, I don't blame people for it because, oh man, I mean, these people are nuts, but some of the stuff, again, I can't believe what they say live. It blows my mind. On Dave, thanks for the 5. The more that Felicia talks, the more she proves the conspiracy part for Fed too. Am I wrong? It seems to be so. I would say you'd have a great argument for it. Yeah, they also the more they talk, when they talk about damages, when they're talking about going and approaching other business entities. Remember, YouTubers aren't. When you think about like a YouTuber like myself, right? Yes. Am I a human being here? Yes. But there's a business aspect. The business aspect is what matters as far as, again, Jeremy's got a lot riding on him, a lot of other people, a lot of pressure with that. So as far as the business aspect is concerned, I mean, you're talking about something that when they brag about trying to ruin it, it's crazy. And yeah, the more they run that mouth, bump that gums. But hey, let them. They're not smart enough not to make certain types of statements. One time I thought about not saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't say this, but you know what? It doesn't stop them. So who cares? So wild, isn't it? Spirit Walker, what's up? Thank you for the 10 there. Appreciate you. Thanks, Tug and Megan. Well, hey, thanks to you. Very much appreciate you. I'll also, like I said, I appreciate you all showing up, supporting the channel, and God, just allowing us to do whatever we need to do with these cases. Because these cases, it's you can keep up with the stuff that just happens in the courtroom. But a lot of the insanity that happens outside is the reason the cases exist in the first place. And it's just wild to watch it. And of course, as these people have threatened many folks, including myself, if we keep up with what they do and we talk about it, they're going to come after us. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah. Jen, thanks for the 5. A CPO needs to be against Lisa and she will continue to incite, even if LPJC get a new CPO. Oh yeah, indeed. I don't know. Even with just to be honest, even with a decision against them, I don't know if they would stop. What do they have to lose? If they don't lose freedom, besides that, what else do they have to take? And a lot of these idiots, all they see is upside in a lot of this insanity. And that's what's really scary about the incitement and everything else, because they certainly don't have, they don't have property. They don't have really, what work do they really do? Their job is harassing Jeremy Hale and trying to destroy his business and trying to monetize that at the time. It's kind of wild to watch. So, I don't think they see anything as a downside for stopping. So hopefully the courts will do something. And we'll see. Again, the problem too is justice is so slow. Like, look at how long this has dragged out. Look at how much time we have seen wasted with this. Like how long it took to get to a hearing. It's insane how slow the court system is. Well, all right. Thank you for the 2 there. Hey, Tums for y'all indeed. I think we all need them. You guys do. I think we all need them. JC, thanks for the 2 there. The reason is because Jeremy said no to LP. Oh, indeed. Indeed. And, you see also, I firmly believe that the reason that 2L turned on him is also because they didn't become famous like they thought they deserved. It's one of those stories that's as old as YouTube, you know, people thinking that at the end of the day that you are going to make them famous. And when they don't become you, they get mad. And it's just, it's kind of sad. Again, there's screenshots out there that show that a few years ago, they were talking about what an inspiration Jeremy Hales was, how great he was, all of these wonderful things, you know, because he helped them in their subscriber quest. But then all of that changes because they didn't get success with one way. So what do? They amp it up and they become this just vitriolic and nasty. Man, I've been there. I've seen this happen, but I've never had a business or anything tied to it that could be harmed like this. But I mean, God, it's wild. People don't take credit for their screw ups in it either. They don't take credit for what they should do in order to grow. Instead, they get mad that you didn't do it for them. You know, you're supposed to build somebody. You're supposed to make their channel. You're supposed to put in the effort for them. And if they don't do it, then that's on you. It's crazy. Yeah. Lorraine, thanks for the 5. Oops, Tums are more than $2. I know that's actually crazy. You know, you get those mini packs. I actually, you know, especially with the new medication, I'd been eating more Tums. And those little smoothie Tums, God, I can't believe what they cost now. That's actually what you'll hear it rattle sometimes. Yeah. No, yeah. I'm just like, oh, I'll get you there. Don't need that grossness added. William, thanks for the 5. Lisa would need more than a body double, right? She would need a body quadruple. That's true. That's true. Unless this is splitting off, you know. If it's like cell division, maybe you can get enough. But otherwise, SF, thanks. Okay. They're using a drone. You know, what are you basing that? Which comment noted a drone? I don't remember. They accused them of using a drone at one time, you know, but in this new one, I don't remember them saying. Now, they did talk about, again, the John Cook walking up and taking pictures. So if you're talking about there, but I don't remember them saying in the new stuff. They had, again, accused in the past Hales of a drone, but I don't believe. God, could you imagine how dysfunctional some of that would be? there'd be a drone stuck in the trees over by Jeremy's property. The Kiwi Crypt Keeper, thanks for the vibe. The judge can ask for a download of JC and Element of Peace phones. There's specific time frames involved. Not sure because it's civil, but she can ask for it. Yeah, you know, and again, that assumes that they're just using some base. They're not using a burner. They're not using a camera setup. I mean, you know, in today's technology, I thought about 3 or 4 ways. Like if I were going to do something crazy like that, I didn't care, which I would not. But if I were going to do something like that, you know, in the discussion about Hale, I thought about 3 or 4 ways that no one would ever notice. Like, you know, these people, they would get away with some of this too, but they don't think there will ever be a consequence. And if there is, well, they're not going to get it. So if there's a consequence, the consequence is for John Cook and it's for Preston. It's not for them. So, but it is crazy. Swing Rage, thanks for the bomb. Leg warmers for the kids. But if they're wearing Megan's, it's doing hot chocolate to keep them warm. Thank you. You know, what's funny is we did crack out the hot chocolate. A little box of hot chocolates. You know, we had gotten, I think my mom got it for the girls, and it had been sitting there, and oh man, that would be really good for, you know, the girls would enjoy that. So it's funny. I did crack out the hot chocolates. I thought that was amazing. Jen, thanks for the zoo. Have you tried vitamin therapy? Yeah, like I said, I've tried some work with additions with vitamins. There's a couple other things that I'm trying to. I think it's just my original problem was my blood pressure bottomed out for some reason, and I actually thought that was a heart attack happening, you know, because you get so low and you feel like, you know, you're falling down this hole or this tunnel, you know. It's bad. So they've eliminated, it's taken 14 months and they've managed through that. They've eliminated heart. That's it. That's all they've managed to do during that time. Truly, the only thing they've managed is they gave me the pill Midodrine, which is, you know, it's the first stop. I could not tolerate that because it works for like 3 or 4 hours and it is very strong. And then it just, you know, it stops working. But it hit my system so hard. It was like hitting my system with a brick. You know, I was like, oh my God. So they gave me this other medication, which I will mispronounce if I try. I always mispronounce it as like Fluticord or something, but it's got a different name. And they, you know, again, over time, I've developed all these other issues. You know, I'm like, man, this is getting bad. So I've contacted them before, but I threw a fit today because I'm like, look, you know, I'm getting to the point where I can't drive, man. I can't concentrate. It's hard for me to read, you know, like I was like, if this continues on this for another year, this is like no joke. This is like disability level bullshit, you know? And I threw an absolute fit about it. They their answer was, we'll just continue. I was like, well, why didn't you do that fucking 4 months ago? Anyway, I will rant about that all night. But thank you for noting that. I'm looking at all types of ways to go with that. Hey, Double Karma, thanks for noting. No, I meant this stream. Oh, with Megan. Oh yeah, okay. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, that's stuff that definitely needed to be screenshot too. So thank you for screenshotting that out. Because otherwise, in the live stream after the fact, I have to remember. I'm like, why was that we were saying that we were going to do there? Like, what were you going to pull out? It's funny. I use a device in that I actually took a picture of it. I think it's funny. You know, when I go through, if you think like none of this is work, how we go through and do it, I tell you, actually. Like I said, I took a picture of it. I thought it was kind of funny. So here, let me show you this. Give me 1 second. I got to send it to myself. God, I cannot believe like freaking Lips, man, putting out more just awful freaking pictures. I mean, she thinks that's going to play well. Holy crap, man. I mean, honestly, would you think that talking about somebody's nether regions, let's say, that going out and putting pictures online like that, honestly, that right there, that should be a channel killer. Like that kind of stuff. I don't even see how that stands up after a little while. Like that's the kind of thing that people lose their channels over. So man, I do not have that. Actually, I'll have to show it to you later. I thought I had that sent over, but apparently I didn't send it over correctly. Huh. That's weird. All right, well, I'll have to show you later. Sorry about that. I was going to show you the setup. It's funny because I'll pull up Speechify on my phone. I'll set it to about, again, 3 times speed. So you can finish a 4-hour stream by these weirdos in about 50 minutes or less. But at the same time, you got to mark everything. So I pulled the transcript up on another device and I go through and mark it because I cannot stand listening to them. If I have to, I'd do it after the fact. I download it and I listen to it from there. You know, that way it's not monetized clicks or anything. You know, they don't allow crowd participation. So why I don't see why anybody would do that in the moment. Travis, thanks for the tea. Love you, Tug. Oh, I hope kids are good. Hey, thank you, brother. And I appreciate that. The kids are doing really good. I'm trying to get their sleep schedules back to normal after the power outages. They've been all over the place. But other than that, they're doing good. The little one's crashed out. She's been waking up very early in the morning. Like when I say early, I'm talking about at god-awful o'clock, you know? So oh, I see what you're saying, SF. I droned to spy on George. I wonder you know, they're talking about where George and where workers are in that transcript. I wonder, in that, are they actually are they tracking their movements and where their vehicles are and all of that stuff all through the day? And who's involved? I don't think it's just John Cook and Michelle Preston. I think there are other people in Otter Creek that get involved in that too. Like I said, I'm amazed by law enforcement. Law enforcement, typically a county will not allow you to go into another jurisdiction and do something like they pulled with this protective order, because there's liability in it. If you can prove like the biasing effect on that, again, if I have a protective order and these people, they've decided that they're going to testify on behalf of these folks, and they've decided that for weeks. Well, if I've had violations during those weeks, what does that say about me actually having any kind of protections? I mean, are they going to protect me? No way. There is no freaking way. They are not biased to the level. They will not do anything. It is, again, I think that is something that it really belongs in mainstream press too, because it deserves to go out to people that are in Florida. Florida should see what the folks that they elect think about them, and also what their police services, what they think about doing. But yeah, the drone there, I just think that's honestly them just creeping around. They probably, like I said, they talked about certain people telling them this or that. Man, they also, it's sad with Otter Creek too, because like I said, I've talked to some good people there, some really nice people. But what this makes it look like are nasty, calloused, busybody, just weirdos. Like, that's the reflection they give to the world. And that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. And they can't blame that on the Hales, because the Fats are sitting around every day and talking about it. So, just nuts. Now, Puzzle, thanks for the 5. It seems like Jeremy works very hard. And if he runs into obstacles, he works extra hard. The antis want the reward without. Yes, that's the way. Yes, Hales is always working. That is one thing that you find out with him. Like, he is always working or returning from work. Like, I'll check in, like I said, I'll check in with him here and there, because I worry about the guy. I worry about all of them. So if I call in, make sure that they're doing okay, but not just physically, it's mentally. Someone like Jeremy, I'm afraid he doesn't take enough time to deal with personal need, because he's a workhorse, and he wants to take care of his people. And a lot of times people like that, they don't take care of themselves, because there's always more to do. And I'm sure the cost on all of this is exorbitant. Nobody has the money to absorb the kind of cost we're talking about. You got to work extra hard for that. There are a lot of lives. So yeah, I mean, it's got to be a lot of stress too. But these people, they want him, again, they want him to build them. And it's so nuts. It is so nuts. SF, thanks for the 5. I work for a manufacturing company in a warehouse. We just shipped something to Murfreesboro. We specialize in winter side effects removal. Hey, well, we definitely we probably needed this year. If you look again at all the pictures coming out of Nashville, and again, Murfreesboro is not that far out of Nashville. I like to go to Murfreesboro. I like it over there. It's like Nashville light. It's growing more, but it has, it has some businesses you can go to. A little fun. I like to take the girls over there, get them like lunch or something. I've been turning it into like a thing we may do once a month. That way it's special and they enjoy it. Now I may take them. I myself have to go out there more than that. I do stuff that's related to this. I go and I look at you know, I try to keep up with anything that's coming up or out. You know, I do all kinds of stuff. So as far as travel, I do that a lot. But them, like Murfreesboro, and this week has been absolutely nuts, almost unrecognizable with that. Let me see if I missed anybody here, by the way. I think I got everyone. Just let me, whoops. Let me make sure. 1 second. Man, it didn't send me a, that's weird. I didn't get a live notification today. I can usually, like, I keep up with, you know, my live streams. It tells me that I'm live. You know, that's how I know everybody's getting a notification. But I don't see one for myself. That's a weird. All right. I'm not sure who's live right now. I apologize. If Sheezy's on or whomever, if you'll go over, check them out, that'd be great. I'm not going to do a redirect, but tell them Tug sent you. I'll do one tomorrow. I just, you know, again, with med changes coming up and everything, I'm like, oh my God, not again. So I appreciate you all, and I will see you.